everybody. Announcements before we begin. In 2 weeks, October 25th, we'll be playing a Halloween-themed version of Honey Heist. So come on out. It's gonna be silly. Everyone, y'all play bears, and bears are funny.
Bears.
Well, then there's
We bear bears.
Well, then there's a honey badger option, but close enough.
There is.
That could be a Chicago bear.
Wow. Oh no, Chicago.
Sam had an idea.
Yeah. So October 25th.
Go by the name of the fridge.
October 25th, the usual time, we'll be playing Honey Heist. Set at a sort of autumn festival, and the bears got to steal some honey, because that's what Honey Heist is. So come on out if you want to see bears. Kate, do you have anything?
I sure do, boss.
Oh boy.
Sorry, apologies for the horrible accent. I have Etsy shops, so come out and support a small independent artist for this holiday season. Halloween's coming up in 2 weeks, but you still have time to order any little crochet plushie ghosts or pumpkins in any size and color. It's your heart's desire, so check it out. And also, there's other things going up on the shop soon. Just a couple of, random works in progress that I'm working on. So be on the lookout for those. Also, you can get whoa, no.
Oh boy.
What was that?
Nothing.
The kind of Etsy shop?
Jeez.
Check out Bad Dice
Co. Take two. Can we roll that back? Can we start over?
Give up.
Just give up. Just
Okay,
bail.
Start the video over.
No.
Can we
If
take
you
that out
check
in
out,
post?
yeah, we'll edit it in post. You can check out Bad Dice Co. on Etsy for some really cool D&D inspired stickers or other stickers such as Hydrate Don't Dihydrate and Dice Jail. So check those out on Bad Dice Co. on Etsy, and also KR Theater Redbubble. Thanks.
Anybody else want to say anything for fun?
I know I said a lot of stuff. I'm sorry.
Hello, everyone.
There we go.
Hi, Garrett.
Hi.
Flanderization is a fascinating trope that occurs in fiction. I'm just letting words come out of my mouth.
Oakley dokley. Last we left off, now I gotta look up the Ned Flanders metal band. The Funky Casuals woke up from the night before in an abandoned inn and started their day off with a meal of honey and infused bog butter on toasted hardtack. Well, some chose to just drink rum instead. Not too long onto the road, you were all ambushed by umbral knights who had set up some sort of checkpoint. One of the knights shouted out in Sylvan that you all were working with Guardian Pashan and needed to be killed. That's not very friendly. The fight was quite intense. One of the knights killing Cornelius, only for Cornelius to instantly resurrect and revive as a displacer beast. Oh god, I burped. Thus, using up the enchantment that Fontaine told Vonkar about. Most of the knights were dispatched, dissolving into a black goo, and from what you all learned from Grin and Vonkar's experience with them, as well as communing with Oberon's severed head, they would become more resistant to the damage that had killed them. Deciding answers on these knights were needed, and also so they didn't come back more powerful. 3 out of how many ever they were rendered unconscious. Antyr removed one of their helmets to see an elf-like form made up of shadow, with a pair of lidless white eyes, and what appeared to be a small shadowy cord, similar to an astral cord trailing off from their shadowy body. They theorized that maybe the Umbral Knights were projecting astral versions of themselves into the material plane, similar to how the astral projection spell projects the spirit of something into the astral plane tethered by a similar cord. Grin, oh no, decided to check out one of the Knights' weapons, but felt a spike of pain course through their arm as they touched it, causing a black mark to appear on the hand with some of the veins turning black. This caused Grin's constitution to weaken, and attempted to cure the affliction with lay on hands to no effect. They warned everyone else about touching the sword, and the bodies of these unconscious knights and their weapons were buried 10 feet deep into the mud, and the party clambered back into the wagon after burying them in the mud again, spending some time getting Cornelius used to the bit and bridle in his new form. However, the mule armor no longer fit this new form. A few hours later, you arrived at the Oir crossroad, where dried catfish was purchased for Cornelius. Torger attacked a Knoll patron that was eating and drinking at a dock-like rampart at the crossroad, made 200 gold pieces over the span of an hour, arm wrestling random people, which ended up causing a shadowy figure to deliver a letter, mentioning a shadowy figure named Jerry, to deliver a letter to Torger mentioning that they noticed their fighting prowess, and asked Torger to only open the letter under the cover of darkness. While this was ongoing, the rest of the party began discussing theories on how the Umbral Knights knew they'd be on the road, theorizing that somebody had sold them out. Doe mentioned that only one person knew where they were going, mentioning that Hopper and Doe asked Thromarn, the Duergar working for Guardian Pashan, to relay a message to Guardian Pashan about their destination. Antyr then suggested there's a possibility they were being tracked, and everyone had begun to search themselves. Nobody seemed to find anything suspicious, but Doe and Hopper both found strange poppet dolls made from hair and sticks hidden on their person, and the dolls were made to look like them. A few spells later, and the dolls were determined to radiate divination magic, and that they had some form of persistent scrying spell cast upon them. You all realized that someone had been listening in and seeing every conversation that had been had for who knows how long. You also discovered that when manipulated by someone else, the dolls seemed to cause the person they were modeled after to feel said manipulations. Antyr failed to dispel the magic affecting one of them, so in an attempt to destroy the doll of Hopper, Hopper tried to set it ablaze with green flame blade, but only ended up burning themselves in the process, as the doll remained unscathed. So, that's where we're going to pick up. You all have just gathered on this muddy road near the wagon, Torger coming back with money. Hopper is now no longer ablaze, holding on to this small poppet doll of yourself.
Where are we on the map? Is that on Owlbear or?
Yep. Owlbear is. I'm constantly updating Owlbear where you guys are on the map. You are at the Oir crossroad.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
The oh yeah crossroad. Oh no, you said oh yeah.
Oir.
I heard oh yeah crossroad.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Sweet.
And yeah, it's about like mid-afternoon. Speaking of
Hopper's
which,
just trying to like bandage his burns. And I think who's down there with me? Is it just Torger who's
everybody.
in town?
Yeah,
We're
I
all
picked
up
your
in
bunch
town?
of fights, and I made a total big amount of cash. I'm the coolest.
I think
Miles.
Yeah, no, not Antyr. Hopper is just wrapping his wounds, and then double checking that there's still like a red ribbon tied around his right ankle.
Oh yeah.
Still checking that that's untouched.
Yep.
And then calms down when he sees that it's still there and unscathed.
Totally.
All right, I believe I am okay. Everything is fine.
Yes, maybe just don't do that.
Oh no, I was thinking of doing it again, Antyr. I had such a blast the last time I did it.
No, you never know. Some people think that multiple attempts is the smarter way to go. Fails once, try it again.
Is that not the definition of insanity?
No, that's after multiple attempts and you keep doing it. You just tuck it away in your bag and I'll attempt to do it. Attempt to dispel it tomorrow.
Are you guys talking about the breakfast and how it'd be crazy if we ever tried to eat like that again?
What do you mean?
It was real gross.
Oh. Yes, I don't. Maybe someone else should attempt the cooking.
No, I'm not trying to be
Oh, you
mean.
were.
I'm saying if we put different things together, maybe they wouldn't taste like we were trying to eat rocks.
Yeah, I feel like I did a lot of good stuff with it, but it's like, what am I working with here?
Right?
I'm
No, if
working
you-
with bog butter and hardtack. I don't think any of you guys can do much better.
I think it was pretty good.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
liked,
vodka's
I
the only
liked
one
it
that's
too.
stomach
I
ache.
liked it too.
Oh, you did eat some, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you actually eat it? Never mind. I don't
Yes.
even want to know. Well, look, we're here. I went and got fish for Cornelius. Are we still calling them Cornelius?
Yeah, that's the name.
Yeah, that's his name.
Wait, so if you're saying, hold on, Grin, are you saying that if you had good materials, you could make something that tasted good?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay, I'll take
I'll
you
do
up
it.
on that.
All
I'll
right.
sponsor. I'll sponsor the next meal.
Sweet.
Anything you want to buy,
But,
I'll pay for it.
well, if you're sponsoring it, maybe we can use some bits that are similar to what you ate in the Underdark.
Oh, no,
No?
no.
Is there
Do you
not
eat rocks
good?
down there?
Are there not good food down there?
We did sometimes have to sometimes if you're really hungry, you just pop a rock in your mouth and you suck on it.
Yes.
What did you eat?
Mainly mushrooms.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad. What kind of
Yeah.
mushrooms?
But my first girlfriend was a mushroom, so
Not surprised.
what?
Some of the mushrooms down there are also screamers, so it's pretty funny.
Oof.
They're called shriekers. And whatever.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got the joke, Justin. It was good.
That's what broke me.
Um,
Look, why don't so you prefer not to eat mushrooms? Did you have to eat your girlfriend? Not what?
I think we skipped a step here.
No, it's your mushrooms are down
Wait,
there. You
Hold
made
on. What? Why you?
nice with the
Why
mushroom.
you got to say it like that? Hold on. What we
Say it like
having a nice
what?
conversation, then you got to be a dirty birdie.
I am not being a dirty bird. I don't even know what that means.
I do not know, Antyr. I think there are
Listen,
plenty of.
I spent most of my life not
implications.
knowing what a bird was either.
I'm pretty sure
you being
Antyr's
a
a
dirty
dirty
bird.
bird.
I
Yeah.
am
Pretty
far
sure
from
Antyr's a
it.
dirty bird.
I don't
Yeah,
even know
you,
what that means. I am
got
not a
to
bird.
hide-
I'm not
you
an
got to
avian.
hide
You
your-
know what they do
you
in
got
the
to hide your
Astral
filthy
Day?
feathers, you
Pleasure.
dirty bird.
No. I don't have feathers either, so I don't need to hide those.
Someone's got filthy feathers.
You have the feathers. Look
dirty
at your
birdie.
feet. You're the bird.
I mean, you
And
are
you're
the one
dirty.
with the bird as your
You're
familiar.
the dirty bird. You're the one with the mind like that. And you're dancing provocatively in the middle of the road right now. See?
Lionel's just
What about
stand-
that?
There's
is
money.
provocative.
It's other people dancing for you. It's a show.
Wait,
I've seen that
do,
before
Do
in the
you
cities.
think? Do you think I could get some money for this dance?
Make a performance check.
Yes.
Body roll, body roll, body
What?
roll.
Watch out for my body.
A lot of
rolls. Watch out
body
for my body rolls. High kicks, high
She-
kicks.
You know
Yeah, like-
Leslie and the Lies?
You got to.
Oh yeah.
We have to talk more about that. Truly.
I have approximate knowledge of many things.
Oh, that's a negative one. I
Ooh.
pop my hip out. Just oh
Oh, n-
yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna watch this one off.
Yeah, maybe that's why your girlfriend was a mushroom.
Georgia,
Make
I
some
think you
old
popped
man
it up a
comment.
little too hard.
What? You
Fuck.
just threw your hip out and you barely even moved your hips.
I was doing a whole. It was a full. There's when you get a whole lot of torque, you just use can pops all sorts of things out.
Those
Well, I think you made that old guy
I think the
vomit
prob-
across the street.
I think the problem is you pop, but you didn't lock.
Oh shit! I knew I
dropped it.
forgot something.
Doe's going to attempt to pop your hip back in with a medicine check.
Oh no!
Nice.
Ah,
Come on, Doe.
Natural 20 for 21.
oh,
The fawns just
Just
elbow.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Ooh, ooh, ooh! It only tingles a little bit. Nice.
Lionel's
Ooh.
just sitting in the wagon staring at everybody.
So
Why you got to stare at us like a big sweaty stack of pancakes? Come join the fun.
The road is muddy and I do not want to dirty my little feet.
I have prestidigitation. You'll be fine.
Like that you're referring
What
to
a
me as
waste of magic.
How is
Is
that a
that
waste?
cantrip?
It's very basic magic.
It could
If you like,
It
if you
could
like
be.
clean stuff,
it could be useful at some other time.
what do you got?
Like cleaning your feet off after dancing in the mud?
What are your cantrips? What can you do all the time?
He looks towards Antyr, unblinking because he has no eyelids.
Oh, gross.
And Antyr, in your head, you hear, "Hello, it is me."
We've done this before. We've done this.
Ah, how about
Something new.
this?
Oh, so he has a message. Okay.
He he focuses on Torger's head
Oh,
and conjures an illusion of a big floppy sun hat.
That's a nice one. Ooh.
yeah. We're just sitting here waiting for you to prove power what you do. Oh God, what?
Hats out of thin
But
air.
funnily enough, the hat is static and does not move.
This is-
So it's
what?
just it's a floating hat.
So okay, let's
Forget to grab the asset when you're animating.
Yeah.
yeah, just let's
Maybe I forgot
go.
to set a constraint.
Torger, go purchase some supplies for cooking if you're.
Okay, so we're just all we's going when we go into town.
Well, we're
Grin.
here.
Yeah. Oh wait, are
I
we
just-
in the middle of town? Just in the
Yeah,
in the
we're
middle
in the
of town?
square.
The
Mhm.
crossroads.
Oh shit.
Antyr bought like dried catfish at this crossroad at a stall.
Oh.
Yeah.
For Cornelius, because he needs to eat.
Oh right, because Cornelius
He's
is
a cat now.
yeah.
They're not going to be eating that hay anymore.
No.
Well, that
We should probably just.
grains.
Maybe see if you could. Oh no, we could lay that as a nice bedding. Oh. Antyr's gonna get up on the cart, prejudice your feet, and begin to take some of the hay they had and create a bedding on the cart and take the
Okay.
bed rolls.
You start weaving a nest together.
I got weevils.
Yeah,
Who's
I'm a
the
bird
bird
apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
There it
you
is, the
tries to
birds.
fight me on it, but all of a sudden now you wants to make a nest. Okay.
I will say it. Antyr probably would not do it themselves. They probably would be about get partway through a hay bale, and then sit down and ritually cast Unseen Servant and let them do the rest.
Hey, Antyr, do you think it'd help if you had some of these tools? I got these weaver's tools. I use them. I mean, I would do that myself, but I kind of want to go get groceries.
You know, that's actually a really good point. Can I borrow those?
Yeah,
For, like,
sure thing.
I won't be able to do much today, but tomorrow I might be able to.
Yeah, just don't destroy them if,
Oh, yeah.
you know, your logic dictates you should destroy them. Yeah. They're mine.
Okay. Okay.
Antyr, as you hold on to these weaver's tools, you feel a sense of evil. I mean, no.
Probably.
They
It'll
look
probably
they look
what's his names.
intimidating, like something you'd use to, you know, make a mummy. But you know, each of them has a purpose.
Sure they do. Let's shift to the side.
Lionel will help you make bedding, but he is proficient in
We're gonna have a nice, comfortable place to sit, Lionel.
he's proficient in brewer's supplies and thieves' tools.
Yeah, I don't think this will work. It's fine.
Here, let me use my steady hands.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck with my tools.
And then who's all going to buy groceries? There's only the one stall that really sells food. It's the turtle that Antyr bought fish off.
Ooh, is it like a big stall? Or is it produce? Is it
It's-
meat? Is it
Meat.
oh, we don't have any produce around here?
Not a lot of stuff grows out this way.
No,
Yeah, you haven't been seeing-
palm
you haven't been-
leaves
you
or
You haven't been
eucalyptus
seeing a
wrap.
lot of like edible vegetation growing in this region.
It's mostly like rotted stuff
Yeah.
and maybe like tubers.
Yeah. Like
And
roots and
some root
roots,
vegetables.
roots and weird roots. But yeah, there's like a turtle that's just selling food. This big turtle, like they're like an alligator snapping turtle. Just
Well, maybe we can find some turnips and carrots on the road.
you can see they've got like some chickens strung up by their feet that are just dead. But these are like weird chickens. They're like swamp chickens, we'll say.
So instead of going, "Brrr," they're like, "Brrr."
Yeah, sure. There's a pig that's still alive.
But that's a swamp pig.
Yeah, it's a swamp pig. It's a big old fat muddy pig, just kind of sitting there.
It's like really long legs though to get through the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah,
It's so weird.
but yeah, there's a weird
It's like a
pig.
meatloaf on toothpick.
Yeah, there's a weird pig. There's a weird pig. There's some like ginger because that's a root. So there's like some weird
Is it-
ginger growing around.
Is it
No,
is
ginger,
it swamp
nice.
is it swamp
It
ginger?
is swamp ginger.
Nice.
Then there's just like salt, pepper.
Is it swamp salt?
I don't know.
Swamp
Uh,
pepper?
then there's like wheat,
Is it swamp weed?
probably. The wheat definitely has
Never
some.
fully
The
dries.
wheat definitely has like ergot on it though.
What's that?
So history time. In the Salem witch trials, they theorized that the main reason people were like seeing weird shit and hallucinating during the witch trials was because the wheat got infected with this fungus called ergot, and it made everybody hallucinate. And ergot, when it's turned into a chemical, is like one of the base compounds for LSD.
Oh,
So people were tripping.
Fun.
People were eating infected
Magic
grains
wheat.
during the witch trials, and they were hallucinating shit. So people were getting burned at the stake and killed because people were hallucinating. And that's one of the main theories for why the witch trials happened. But yeah, there's some wheat that's clearly infected with this weird like. There's this like weird bundles of wheat that are infected with like black fungus growing on it. Yeah, there's a couple chickens strung up. It's flour, salt, ginger, a live pig at the little grocery stall, and some dried catfish.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Okay.
All right, so you can get whatever your heart's desire at this stall. The world is your oyster. Excuse me, do you got any swamp oysters?
I could look around. He roots around in the back of his shell, inside of it, 'cause that's where he'd produce the dried catfish for Antyr. Pulls out. Pulls out this burlap sack. You hear like things clattering inside the thing. He opens it up, sniffs it. Yeah, we got some oysters right here. Bit of a pungent
How
smell.
fresh.
There's a pungent smell coming from the back. Oysters have to be kept cold or they die. So there's a bit of there's just like a pungent smell coming from this burlap sack of off oysters. They're free.
Grin. I don't know, Grin.
Oh,
Whatever.
if we're free, we'll find a use for them as long as we got something to, clamp it down. We can always throw them at a bear to keep them away.
Not much bears around here, but I'm good choice.
Right.
What
Alright, I
they
need
say,
to-
that
what's-
there were bears? There were bears or there weren't bears
No,
around
no
here?
bears around here.
No bears.
Lots of big ticks. Ticks the size of wild boars.
The size of wild
What's-
boars, you say?
Not house.
And then you got the Olimars, which are swamp-dwelling furry hippos.
Oh. All right, so that's what there's ticks. That's what they eat. Is the hairy hippos? The hairy hippos?
Name whatever they can get their hands on.
Yeah, but if there's going to grow to the size of wild boars, it probably got a regular food source, right?
Giants.
well, that's very in the lead move there.
How do you avoid the big ticks? Like, what do you
Don't-
guys usually do to?
Don't
Sure,
go
bring
into the tall grass if you find it. Avoid dead animals on the road. Avoid big hairy animals. Avoid animals with blood.
Animals. Don't all animals have blood?
Avoid big living things.
Oh, all right.
Hmm.
Hey, what happens to like a regular person when they see one of them big tick gets out? I imagine it just doesn't like.
Oh, it's bad.
Bad. All right.
Imagine getting sucked on by a boar-sized tick.
That seems like it would happen pretty quick.
No. They
Yeah,
like,
it
Just
seems-
latch on there and
they
weigh
like-
you down.
they like to savor the meal.
Ugh.
Yeah, I imagine that once you feel every single second of their proboscis going into you and exchanging the good fluids for the bad ones.
Well, that's actually another question. Do they have like, I mean, if they're that big and they take their time, do they have like some type of paralytic agent going on? What's happening?
I don't know. Never been bit by one.
Ooh. All right. What color are they?
They're usually crimson because they're full of blood.
All right, I'll keep an eye out.
Nah. Nah.
All right. Do we get our food?
No one's bought food yet. You got your bag of not spoiled oysters. I sold your friend over there some dried catfish. Points to Antyr. I got some chickens. I got a swamp pig named Pete. I got ginger.
Let's
And,
Don't tell us the name.
Yeah, let's get the ginger.
all right, you want a pound? I sell it by the pound.
Pound? All right, how much is a pound?
1 gold.
You do, but you do. He needs a pound of ginger, though.
Yeah, if you want to make your horse prim and proper, if you got a horse.
Wait, are we trying to eat a horse?
No, something else. If you're in high society, they do this thing with ginger root to a horse's butthole.
I've never heard of such.
Yeah,
Alright, so
They cut the root so it's exposed, and they put it in the horse's bunghole, and the tail lifts up, and it trots around all nice.
alright, so I once dated a mushroom, and you somehow
too.
got so much more nasty than I did.
You want Pete?
What's up? What about Pete?
The pig. You want pig?
Listen, I'm just the money. You got the chef right here.
Well,
Yeah,
we
we'll
got,
get the ginger. We'll have a bit of the pig.
he picks the pig up and just snaps its neck,
Whoa!
cuts off like all of the legs,
What?
so you get like the pork shanks. Just picks it up and just slaps
You're
it on.
sitting right in front of us.
Slaps it on the
Oh,
counter and just pulls out a big like cleaver and cuts off all of the legs. Do you want the whole pig cut up and butchered for you?
Oh, how long would it last? How long does this last?
Oh,
We don't have anything to keep it cold,
Well,
so
I
we'll
can-
probably only
I-
need
I
like
can,
stuff for 2 days worth.
oh, okay.
Unless he wants to make some of it salt pork.
I mean, we could salt the
That's
crud out of
well.
it.
If you buy salt, you can make salted pork and it'll last.
All right, we'll do that.
All right. So pound of ginger, pound of salt, and the pig.
It's probably at least 30 pounds.
5 gold, or 4 gold, 5 copper. Just annihilate. He takes the rest of the pig and just like shoves it in his shell.
Oh Lord.
Oh no, that's the price for a whole pig. So you get the whole pig.
Oh, okay.
So he's just butchering up into
We'll
smaller
salt it
pieces
out,
for
yeah.
easier like carry.
Cool.
It's fresh meat.
Yeah, maybe don't put that next to the clams.
Yeah, not next to clams, no. I got a nose too. That's a good idea.
Well, those are oysters, but I understand the confusion.
Yeah.
Nose clams are different. Anyways, 4 gold, 4 gold, 5 copper.
You got it?
No, yeah, no, that's exactly this is all good. Um, is there any other ingredients here that are inspiring to you? Is you got any kind of potato or?
Well, you see,
I don't mean to speak for you, Grim, but I imagine we can't just have salt pork, or else we're going to have an issue.
I sell duck potato.
Yeah, that's,
Is it swamp duck potato?
No. It grows in the swamp.
Okay.
okay.
No. Tastes like potatoes and chestnuts.
I mean, yeah, we'll take it.
No, man.
Yeah.
You want a pound? I sell
You know
things
what,
by the
let's-
pound.
Yeah, that gets 5 pounds, please. And we'd also, instead of just 1 pound of salt, we'd like at least 2 pounds of salt. We got a lot of pork, a disgusting amount of pork in a very good way, but like we's got a king's ransom of pork. So if you could give us 2 pounds of salt, right, Grin? I
Yeah.
feel like
All
I
right.
don't mean to step in and
Alright.
be one's more cooks in the kitchen.
Hey,
But-
I will take any advice.
Right.
I'm just happy to be of use.
So your total price then is 7 gold, 10 copper.
Mhm.
7 gold, 1 silver.
Okay. All right. Anything else you've got that could inspire a fledgling chef?
No. Nope.
Now, again, we gotta get moving. Do we want to rest here, or are we just gonna head out?
You want to rest? You got the hostel over there. There might be a couple beds available, and then you can play one of the drinking games over there to pass the time. Unless you want to leave. I get it. This place sucks.
Pablo, it's, we're on your quest here. I think we get to decide whether we stick around or if we just keep moving.
Well, if it is between you and me, I feel we should move on in case we are bringing ill upon the town. If you know what I mean.
Well,
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not too worried about the town. I'm more worried, like, all those Umberknight guys. They knew where we were going, and maybe they knew exactly what we were trying to do, and maybe we need to figure out if that sword's even still there.
I
Yeah.
agree that the faster we get there, the better. So I feel as if we should continue on as far as possible into the night, without exhausting ourselves, of course.
while you're talking
We-
in front of the stall, the turtle just spits in a big old spittoon.
We totally like gone through the process of like earmuffing the hanger on dolls, right?
They were shoved in someone's bag. That's all that was said.
Cool. Earmuffs.
Yeah. If I could, I think to just go a little further on that, I'm gonna like take a handkerchief, wrap it around the head,
Okay.
leaving the breathing areas available, but like covering the fake ears.
Okay, so Hopper, you're now deafened.
Oh fuck, never mind then.
Because as you remember, when the
I
dolls are
start doing that,
when
and
the
I
dolls
start,
are
like-
manipulated, you're manipulated.
And I start unwrapping it, so we cannot deafen them.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's just like anything that is seen or heard by you is then passed on.
As far as I can tell, the best place we can leave them for now is in our packs. But clearly, well, they knew we were coming this direction and who we worked for. they did not seem to know why we were going this way. And he's just thinking back on what they said at the checkpoint, what the knight said at the checkpoint.
They were for Guardian Pashan, killed them.
Mm-hmm.
And you
So
and
they
Doe
may
told
not know about
Thermarn,
it.
and you and Doe told Thermarn that you were headed to Port Craig and Drown Maiden Reef, and I was the only person you guys told.
Yeah.
But there has been discussions about the sword on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Including what Grin just said.
Yeah. So, I believe the faster we get there, the better.
Alright.
Perhaps we continue talking about sensitive subjects in writing.
I mean, like I said, if you can see it, so can the doll.
So can I, because there's a doll made after my likeness as well.
Yeah. So, also, watch
are
over those
fucking
dolls. If
impossible.
it seems like if anything happens to those dolls, you guys are dead. That's pretty powerful magic.
It seems to be a very, very powerful binding curse. Or enchantment. So it is not in my skill book at the moment.
Oh yeah, we better get moving then.
Okay. So y'all clamber back into the now freshly bedded wagon that Antyr and Lionel have been working on.
Antyr's unseen servant and Lionel have
Oh, yeah,
worked
that's
on.
true. Antyr's probably just sitting there going,
Mm-hmm.
This isn't too bad. Hold on.
And
I'm gonna take my tools back. We good?
Oh, wow, he's going to fix it up more properly tomorrow. Well, me.
No, I'll do it. I like doing it.
I'll give you something to do on the road.
Ah!
oh. So yeah, you have your groceries, your whole pig's worth of pork, ginger, duck, potatoes, salt, pepper, and some clearly spoiled oysters. And
Yum.
you set out back onto the road. The same pace. Cornelius in his new form, while much larger, pulls the wagon at the same pace as the mule did. Both have a speed of 40 feet.
Cool.
But much more like, gets for the environment a little easier now that he's much larger, can carry more weight. And also, blends into the darkness a little bit because he's a displacer beast. So this large black panther with tentacles is kind of blending in a little.
Is it alright if... So, we see that there's like a nest type thing that was made with that was weaved together with some of the straw and stuff.
Yeah.
Grim would like to start using the weaver's tools to like shape it and fluff it a bit more to resemble like a little like a cat's bed.
Okay. Sure.
And have it be essentially big enough for Cornelius.
Alright. Cool. Easily done. You all...
You did some good work here, Antyr.
Oh, it was Lionel and... Well, they're not here right now, but...
Yeah, still good groundwork. It's of your I don't know, what would you call that? I mean, your unseen servants aren't like, they're not your children or anything, but they essentially borrow from your knowledge as their knowledge, right? Like, you tell them what to do.
To an extent. It's just a manifestation of my will, to an extent.
Oh, okay.
That does
That's
what I needed to do.
Hmm.
It can do plenty of other things if they were frequent uses within back home. And I make use of them daily, still, usually.
Huh.
We get to like a
Oh.
river or something, and we need our clothes cleaned. They can clean, they can fold, they can serve food. They can light fires.
Well, that sounds nice.
They can probably help you cook too. Simple task, whatever you may need. Like if you need to stir a pot continuously without
Chop
stopping.
this ginger.
Mhm.
Ta, 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 ta.
It's more of a. It's not really a expert pace. It's more of a casual cook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, like me.
Lovely.
As the sun begins to set, you can see Cornelius start to tire a little bit. And y'all can mark off 3 short rests if you'd like, as 3 hours have passed since the crossroad. I'm not gonna spend any hit. Yeah, I can spend a hit dice. It's long rest time almost.
Let's see. I don't think I need to.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know some people have abilities that recharge on a short rest, but you probably won't need to actually take a short rest at all. But you know.
Alright, so I got a couple of things I need to do tonight. Maybe some of you guys can help. But this is kind of an issue for me.
You can just see this like black spot where Grin touched the sword, and just like it's like kind of caused this like necrotic looking veins to kind of extend down to the elbow almost.
I haven't been able to get it to like recede in any fashion or even start healing.
I could attempt to identify it for you since it may be arcane in origin, but I do not know if it will work.
Yeah, get at it. I'll be doing for that.
Okay, and I'm gonna take Grin's hand, and cast Identify on
Okay.
the black spot.
So when you cast Identify on a creature, it tells you what spells are currently affecting a creature.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing turns up, which means Grin is not being affected by a spell.
It is more likely a curse, if anything. Apologies, I cannot tell you more.
Alright. It's draining a bit, you know, but so far it's not affecting me too much, but it does feel like not great.
Maybe some rest will do you good.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it doesn't get any worse.
But we will monitor it to ensure it doesn't. I don't think anybody here is anybody skilled in practical healing?
Not even a little bit.
Me neither.
I am exactly average.
I get it. If you need someone's I was born with naturally healing hands. These aren't just weapons.
Doe also, popped Torger's hip back into place earlier today.
Yeah, but I don't think I can fix that.
What you wants me to take a look at it with my healing hands?
Yeah, give it a look.
You know, holds it out.
I can give a medicine roll if you're into it.
This would be more Arcana if someone's proficient in it.
I am proficient in Arcana.
Because it doesn't look like any like medical affliction you may have seen.
Yeah, I'm more like if
So
you
not a poison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like if you gets punched in the face, I knows how to like make sure that you can see out of your eyes still. Or if you like got a blister, I can pop it for you, and it's nice.
Oh.
So I'll go to you if I need anything lancing. It needs to be lanced.
Well, you know, everybody's got their lane.
You need a horse for a lance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've heard of a specific lance. That, like there's a bass, there's a fish. That's a lance
Damn
bass.
it.
A meteor falls from this.
Sings beautifully.
A meteor
Flitz
falls
at this point
yeah.
from far away casts Comet just on this spot.
Yeah. Good luck.
But Hopper, you were
One
looking
day
at-
you'll find it in space. I guarantees it.
It seemed like you had a couple raised eyebrows when you were identifying this. What do you think?
We can look
I
at it
agree.
together if you would like.
Yes,
Sure.
teamwork makes the dream work.
Sure.
Yeah,
Cornelius
can I
is
make an Arcana
since
check?
but also just so since Cornelius has kind of gotten to the point of exhaustion, does Vonkar kind of just pull the wagon over to the side again, side of the road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing what are you doing on the?
Arcana?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check with advantage because Antyr is aiding.
Oh, Antyr's helping?
It would seem so.
Okay, so first roll was an 18.
Mm-hmm.
Second roll was a 17, so highest is a 25
It's
Arcana.
definitely. You see a lot of curses in the Feywild. A lot. Curses are rambunctious and rampant in the Feywild. This is most likely a Fey curse. Some Fey curses can be dispelled or removed with magic. Other Fey curses require the giver of the curse to be slain.
So it is definitely a curse.
Alright.
It
Good.
is a fake curse, which narrows it down to how we can get rid of it for you. For the most part, fake curses are usually harmless, and you can get rid of them with a spell like remove curse or perhaps a greater restoration, depending on the severity. But it seems perhaps in this case, we may have to kill the bestower of the curse, which is
Good luck with that.
exactly.
Okay, well, I have one more. I have enough energy within me to attempt one more dispelling. So, would we prefer to attempt to dispel your curse, Grin, or one of the dolls?
No, I trust Hopper. I'm inclined to agree with I concur with Hopper's
Well, there's no definitive answer on this. It's still, it could be this, could be that, or it could be. There's three options of what it could be. You
I
could
think
get.
I think I'm all right. And the
Okay.
bigger issue are these dolls that that are liabilities.
Well, if by tomorrow it continues to spread, I'm going to attempt.
I would appreciate that.
Okay, Hopper, Doe, which doll you would prefer this attempted to remove?
So I am nothing if but not a gentleman, so after you.
Alright. And they fetch their doll out of their bag with their tongue and hand it to Antyr, holding it in their tongue.
Mage hand. Magus Reach will
Yep.
reach out and grab it and set it down. Antyr's going to mold earth to make a solid flat area on the ground.
Okay.
Set the
dirt table.
set the
Love
we're
it.
gonna set the
Oh yeah, because the
know.
wagon's like this now.
Yep.
Crooked.
Yeah.
I was gonna set it on there and is going to begin gonna embellish it a little bit, the dispel magic, but essentially
Okay.
we'll do a dispel magic, attempt to dispel
Alright.
magic 3rd level.
D20 add your spell modifier.
Okay, that is a intelligence check. 12.
The doll remains.
Ripperoni.
All right. Well, that didn't work.
Well, we can try again later.
Yeah, it's magic is strong on these things, so maybe with more time, I don't know. The Reach will go over and hand it back to Doe.
They put it back in their bag. Cornelius, Lionel's doesn't contribute much, so Lionel's going to help get Cornelius out of the bitten bridle. So his little teddy bear is just kind of scrambling all over the displacer beast, getting him out of the bitten bridle, and then Cornelius is going to cram into the back of the wagon this massive, basically 12-foot long, 10-foot tall cat, just into the back of the wagon. The wagon just...
If I fits, I sits.
Yeah, essentially.
He is a giant cat.
Yeah.
So as he crawls into the back of the wagon just goes.
I may have some repairs in the morning.
Oh, nothing broke. The wagon just went into the mud a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Listed a bit. All right.
Just a lot of weight in
I
the
can
back.
lift that out tomorrow.
Vonkar, do you have Cornelius's armor?
Yeah.
May I see it? I believe I can partially reshape some bits, so
All right,
it may
yeah.
fit a little better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Doe, I think the bubble would be preferred.
Doe will start casting Tiny Hut then. And it'll
A
look.
question for the group while Doe is doing this all together. Have you ever ridden a dragonfly? And it's gonna give everybody a very pointed look.
Wait, are you talking about when we was?
No, well, no, just in general. Have you ridden a dragonfly?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, give me a second.
Grin's gonna disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Get a couple strips of cloth,
Mm-hmm.
and then start blindfolding Hopper and
I could have just done this myself if you had asked.
and it's about
Yeah.
they hear and see whatever you hear and see.
I
So
could have blindfolded myself. I could have stepped outside of the tent or the dome.
and I'll do the same to
Well, there's no reason to begin doing this. I asked a simple question: have you ever ridden a dragonfly? Because I think
Yes, they
riding
are very plentiful
dragonflies.
in the Feywild. I've ridden many a dragonfly. I will go start the watch now. Goodbye.
No, you can stay.
Yeah, I think a few of us rode one at the carnival,
Yes.
the dragonfly ride.
And we remember how fast the dragonfly went, correct?
And how
Those of you who
noticeable
rode
it
it.
was.
Correct. But the dragonfly in question was already seen, or the knowledge of the dragonfly already exists. So if we can use that dragonfly, or then we could potentially get
Grin's just
to a
doing
place
this right now.
You're invisible and I can't see you.
What? He didn't go invisible.
I thought you,
You said you went invisible to do the cloth
cloths.
Oh. Sorry, that I wouldn't have I don't know why I said invisible. I meant fucking something else. Never mind, whatever. It's
Just
fine.
the habit of I go invisible.
I only based on my stuff, I'm only invisible for 6 seconds now
Yeah.
anyway, so
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, all right. No more riding dragonflies then. We'll just keep our dragonflies secured.
Damn.
Justin's taking notes and I don't like it.
I'm not doing anything. I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Grin's gonna lean in and kind of pull Antyr aside. His blood.
Yeah, I agree. We should use the dragonfly, but how do we do that without alerting, the eyes and ears that are Hopper and Doe?
They know we have it.
Yeah.
Alerting them now is
Yeah, that's a good tip. I mean, the band-aid's already been ripped off. I might as well just use it if they know exactly where we are anyway.
We could quicken our pace to get there. We don't even need to go to the port. We can go to. We know
Yeah,
where the
directly where it is on the map,
right,
right?
and we can land there. It floats. It stays on water.
I mean, the good news
So-
is that, you know, Hopper and Doe haven't ever looked at the map. It's just been you and me and Vonkar.
It's true.
At least not since this trip. Not since we think that they got their
Right.
Papa called them dingleberries, but I don't think that's quite right.
I'm not even going to question what that is.
While this discussion's going on, Sam, I'm gonna need you to do some quick stuff for me.
Okay.
Roll me a d20.
Alrighty. Cha-cha-cha. 7.
Roll me another one.
Natural 20.
Okay, never mind.
Multiply it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
All right. So
Well, that was
I mean,
concerning.
So yeah, I think you had a good idea. I think we just tomorrow we take off on our little flying contraption, head exactly where we need to go, and then kaplank.
we have the ability to breathe water.
Yep.
Painfully.
Well, let's get a consensus from the others. Vonkar, Torger,
Except for yeah.
can you come here for a moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you guys? What's the deal?
So, Antyr's gonna turn so that their back is facing Hopper and Doe, and is gonna pull the disc out to reveal to the other. So, at this point, we can take the road and continue on and extend our journey for days, knowing that the people know where we're going already. Or we could use this to cut our journey shorter. It will stay afloat on water. We know exactly where the location we need to go. We have an ability to breathe water. I think we have all the tools we could need. We could attach a rope to one of its little legs so that it could be a anchor point of where we need to
Oh, I say
return to.
I say whenever we dive down, we take it with us.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that probably actually would be smarter to take it with us. But we wanted to get a vote. Me and Grin are in agreement to do this. We want to do our opinions before we even brought the topic up with the other two.
I say we just jump it on them tomorrow. We just like, hey, this is what we're doing, see, and just head out. And then they're just like, what's going on? And it's like, that's right, you don't know what's going on, neither do I.
I mean, I think just at this point, yeah, for when we've kind of got information isn't really on our side. We're kind of in the dark about a lot of things. I think just moving as fast as possible might just be the best bet. Gives our enemies less time to take advantage of what they know more than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say it's moving fast is the best ways to do it.
Especially since they might already know what we're going for.
Yeah, you got to move fast if you want to be fast.
So insightful. So wise. That's why I called you over. I knew that y'all would have the right words to say. So, us four in agreement. Correct.
Like it, yeah.
Vonkar, you
Sure.
want to help me salt this pork?
Sure.
Ah! Break! We did it! Good job, team!
Go team, go.
Yeah, salt on the pork's easy. You just gotta slap salt on it.
the whole time
Yeah,
Hopper
but like
this
tiny hands.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be able to rub very much very quickly. Vonkar, big hands.
Big old wrinkly paws.
After 10 minutes,
Oh.
Antyr will have Unseen Servant to help as
Okay.
well.
Doe has held off casting Tiny Hut because it only lasts for 8 hours.
Oh, that's true. It'd be like exactly when we need our long rest. That's
Yeah.
valid.
But yeah, the sun is now
this whole
the
time
sun is now
Hopper-
set. During this conversation, the sun would have set. And
Yeah.
what's Hopper doing? Sorry.
During that conversation, to help like cover what they were talking about, he was doing some preliminary shaping on Cornelius's new armor so
Alright.
that they could just add on pieces when they get more
Uh,
sheets of metal.
well, roll me a check with either Tinker's tools or Smith tools, and then add
I
your
have both.
and then add your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so that would be plus Dex plus
No,
proficiency?
just plus your proficiency bonus.
Oh, okay, plus. Okay, so that's a +3. Natural 20.
Yes!
Nice.
Beautiful.
Fuck
Cool.
yeah, that's awesome.
Perfect. Obviously not usable yet, but very
Yeah,
close to being
not enough
usable.
material, but like
Correct, not
yeah.
enough material.
Just need a few more pieces.
Cool. Anybody else?
You have a Hellcat exoskeleton ready.
This is basically
Yeah.
turning Cornelius basically into a Zoid.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Artificer.
the He-Man cat.
Amazing.
I forgot
Nope,
about
Oh,
nope,
fuck
Zoids.
Zoids. Anybody else doing
Well,
anything?
Zoids are actually
Robots.
organically robots.
Yes,
yeah,
true.
and then they put the
Would
cockpits
I
in their
would-
brains.
Nice.
But anybody doing anything as the night has fallen?
Yeah, I wants to take the first morning shift. So
I'll take
I
it
go,
with you.
I'm good.
Well, I'm gonna be up anyway. I only need 4 hours of sleep. Or sleep.
Yeah.
You want
uh,
privacy? You could say it.
I don't have to say it. I don't have to do anything.
I didn't say you had to. I said you could say it.
Yeah, well, I could do a lot of things.
As you're all like,
Fine. I will let you take your watch by yourself.
as you're all,
Well, just don't be up in my shit while I'm doing it.
Lionel's
Am
like,
I ever?
I also only need 4 hours of an inactive state.
We should do opposite. So,
Why?
for the sole purpose of keeping watch,
Ah,
keeping an eye for the group.
good. Yes.
Just in this area. This area seems a little more dangerous than before.
Yes. Constant vigilance.
Yeah, he's got a point.
I usually do.
Well, I don't know if we're going to say that.
I mean, you don't have to. I already did.
Doe will start casting Tiny Hut now.
So you want to? Do you want your activities to happen right now, or like earlier, like in the morning? Torger.
I'm going to sleep for exactly 7 hours and 3 minutes.
So you're starting it now.
No.
Oh, Tiny Hut lasts
say
8
that.
hours.
Once Tiny
Yes.
Hut is finished, it takes 10 minutes to do Tiny Hut. Yeah.
Right. I said I'm going to sleep for exactly 7 hours and 3 minutes. And then I was going to wake up and I'm going to fuck off for about 37 minutes. And then I'm going to do calisthenics for about 15 minutes. Anyone can join me for the last 5 minutes. It's the most intense.
As you're all kind of sitting around the wagon, you all just hear creaking in the branches of the trees. Natural, just.
What the fuck is that?
A tree. Sounds just
Used
like
to
the noise you
when
just
there was
made.
wind.
I'm gonna check him out.
It's branches in the wind.
Yeah, he's checking it out though.
It's branches in the wind.
No, I go to the branches.
No, it's branches in the wind.
Okay. No, the whole time that the world tree embraced me with its roots, not once did it make this fucking noise.
Oh, the roots don't make noise.
Wait, what the fuck did you just say?
So roots don't make noise.
I'm gonna have to sit with that for a minute.
Why?
Because I used to listen to the roots to see if anyone was coming.
Oh, well, I mean, they don't make noise on the road.
You're taking everything I know. You're doing a good job.
Wait. Vonkar's gonna walk over to Torger,
Yep.
and he's gonna like blow on the side of his head so his hair kind of moves. Did your feet move when I did that?
I mean, only sort of anxiously because you're like a thick person who just cut my head and blew air on my head.
I didn't cup. I just walked up and didn't like
You
tenderly.
cut.
Yeah.
A small press.
No, it was just like walked up and.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Jesus Christ. I thought you fucking cut my head and made a wind tunnel out of me, dude.
Oh, no.
I was like, all right, it's cool.
Through your ear.
No, my feet did not move.
Feet are like the roots. Your hair's like the branches. The wind blows, only the top bit moves.
From now on, I am Torger Branchhair.
That's a good name.
It's a pretty cool name. I just thought of it right now. Torger Branchhair Otrson. I don't know. Trees are cool, but I don't know. I'll think about it. Anyway, you got a nickname?
Me?
Yeah, I was called the Bloody Punch. It wasn't my favorite nickname.
No, not really. Well, other than Uncle.
Oh. Was that the first time you ever got a nickname?
I'm sure it wasn't.
Is it also the first time you used an uncle?
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You don't got memories. That
Well,
seems
no, I
fun.
have some. Some things are just a little. I'm old. But
Yeah, and I'm like young and hot.
Hey, insight Vonkar.
yeah.
Absolutely. Vonkar, deception or persuasion, your choice. Don't say which. So it means roll it privately or like so send result to DM or just roll real dice.
No.
There we go.
Never mind.
No, that's a natural one.
I could have rolled worse than that.
Oh, okay.
Natural one? Nah, probably not.
All right, Justin, you saw what I got.
Matching natural ones.
Let's see. Can't read Vonkar Antyr. Probably telling the truth, looks like.
Old people. They have enigmas.
Yes,
well,
we do.
no, the uncle question was more of a complicated one because, like, I've been an uncle, I think, like, in a row a few times. So, like, no, the most recent one, but like from this family, yes.
Yeah, I get that. There's the place where I grew up. It's kind of like everyone's kind of family, but kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not like lots of people, so everyone's kind of like everyone's an uncle, but nobody's like a dad, and everyone's like an aunt, but nobody's like your mom. Like everybody just kind of works together, and you get what you need from everybody. Like you learn like cool things, like yeah, that guy's like bad at most stuff, but he's really good at keeping his clothes clean. So like you learn how to keep your clothes clean from that guy, and like. Yeah, that guy's like, he's like emotionally stunted, but he's like really good at like moving quietly. So like, so you learn all you need to know from everyone. You just take bits and pieces.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it's like you don't really got a mom or a dad, but you got like 20 aunts and 20 uncles.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so yeah. So I got like lots of uncle wisdom too. So if you ever needs any uncle wisdom,
I mean, I could always use more wisdom. I wasn't giving out much uncle wisdom.
hold on. Let me go to my book. Let me see what I got there for you. Hold on.
All right.
Wait a second.
At this point, Tiny Hut pops into existence.
Antyr will start trancing.
Okay.
Oh, color is a lie, maybe.
Interesting. All right.
All right, and also sometimes boats move themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, also sometimes people just wants to touch your skin.
Yeah.
Yep, that's some pretty good stuff.
I like to touch
Yeah.
people's skin. That's how I introduce myself. Hi, can I touch your skin?
I feel like you're missing. You got the right. You're not wrong, but you're not.
Yeah.
Something. I feel like something about that ain't right, but it's not entirely wrong either.
But I use my
Oh,
tongue.
no, no.
Well,
they're,
that also
they're
probably.
asking.
Some people. I mean, I'm fine with that. Like, hi, how are you? But some people I think might be uncomfortable from that.
That's why I ask.
Yeah.
Well, do you specify that the tongue is going to be used,
No.
though? Well, then, see, that seems a little like a misunderstanding waiting to happen.
Hey, Vonkar, check this out.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, can I touch your skin?
Yeah, see, something about that seems a little disconcerting.
Yeah, it's there's also something that's called like enthusiastic consent, where you's got to just celebrate every section of what you's going to do. And
Ah,
then
noted.
when someone says yes, then you really know it's like a whole nother level of like intimacy.
Doe will open
Alright.
their book and start writing all of this in.
I think it's uncomfortable because the touching the skin, like, that's what you're doing, but it's not the point. So to kind of, it's like, I don't know. There's just ways of describing things where you highlight things that aren't untrue, but it can kind of make things uncomfortable. Like
Oh,
if
you mean like I says, hey, can I sleep in the same room with you? And they go, yeah, and then I knock them out, and then I sleeps next to them.
yeah, that seems a little like you're leaving some stuff out. But even
Yeah.
that, like, if say I was inviting someone over to dinner,
Mhm.
if I said like, hey, you want to come over and put your mouth on my silverware? That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. But it's a little weird way to describe it. Kind of seems like I'm focusing on the wrong bits.
Vonkar, you don't use silverware.
Well, that's true. I mean, I would have some, if I had a house
Yeah.
so that people could use it.
For other people, yeah.
Noted. I'll write all this down. Yes, of course. We had 30 sets of high-end silverware that we would use for different guests. Depending on the guests we would have over, it'd be more expensive, but if it was somebody we didn't like, it'd be the more cheaper sets.
So, anybody can go away from this, but I love the idea that we're having this conversation while we're all tucked in, and like it's like the
Sleepover
as you're
conversation?
falling asleep type of conversation. Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Unfortunately, I can't join you in this sleep.
Well, then could you maybe just like cleanse us with like a sound bath? Like
Yes,
some
of
white
course.
noise? Or just,
Good
yeah,
choice.
Okay, good.
Lionel will cast Minor Illusion, and the sound is just going to be a sound he's familiar with, so the sound of him as a child having his his bedroom window open, overlooking the jungle and the winery, listening to the sounds of monkeys chirping in the distance, and the sound of waves crashing against Dawnbreak Cove.
Oh, that's nice.
Very relaxing.
But then monkeys in the background just going, "Rat, rat."
Hey.
And then in the distance you can hear like sailors yelling at each other at the port.
That's cool.
And they have to do that every 6 seconds. Just poof.
It's the same
It
6
lasts
second
a whole
loop.
minute,
Well,
right?
yeah, fine. Does it every minute then.
It's the same 1 minute loop over
Yeah.
and over again.
Oh.
And then he's like, alright, well, I do need 4 hours of an inactive state, and then kind of just slumps back against the back of the wagon and just stares straight ahead, unblinking.
Torger's already asleep.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyone remaining conscious, or is everybody going straight to unconscious? Cool.
Yeah, I think Hopper's gonna try to sleep.
Antyr, you wake up from your trance at the same time as Lionel. Don't worry, I will remain right here, not paying attention to you.
Lionel, you were supposed to trance.
I don't trance, I rest in an inactive state.
Oh, that's right.
And I only need to do so for 4 hours.
For flavor purposes,
Yeah.
during Antyr's trance, Antyr was essentially during this would have been their hands would have been moving in kind of like quick motions, almost like they were somatic components of a spell.
Mm-hmm.
But people were sleeping. This is more for audience. So yeah, hands were moving in a quick motion, and eventually those hand motions shifted to the motions of a weaver, so someone who weaves baskets and things together, and those hand motions became fluid, and that's how Antyr during their trance is going to shift their astral trance. They're going to shift one of their proficiencies from alchemy supplies to weaver's tools.
Sounds good. And then your trance comes to an end. Lionel has shifted away so he's not looking at you. You have 4 hours, 3 hours and a bit to yourself before Torger decides to wake up and do whatever they're going to do.
All right. Antyr is going to send Endylus out.
All right, so this purple winged cat,
and have Endylus do. What's the range again that they can? Sorry, let me double check here. I forgot exactly what that was. Communicate telepathically 100 feet. Oh, and that's also for through the familiar's eyes and such.
Yeah.
So Antyr's going to go into their consciousness into Endylus, and is going to use Endylus's to survey the area within 100 feet, looking for potential edible foods.
Okay.
Veggies and such.
Yeah, since you're looking through Endylus's eyes, and it's you looking through, survival check.
Okay. Oh, that's a stealth. Roll that to be survival. Yeah,
Stealthing in the wagon. 3.
A 3.
Just like the turtle said, not much in the form of edibles out here. But there is that creaking noise just from like a nearby branch, and as Endylus is flying through, Endylus just disappears, and you're back to your own. You feel like a brief white hot pain, and then you're shunted back into your body.
So good.
Actually, hold on. How many hit points does Endylus have?
5.
Yeah, Endylus is.
While I was connected, do I know the position where Endylus was? Just up in the trees?
Probably up in the trees, like somewhere in the vicinity.
Okay. I know.
Yes, of course. Hello.
Something just attacked Endylus and managed to subdue him.
Well, luckily, we're in the tiny hut and we can't be harmed.
That is true, but it's here. So just...
I need you and Lionel are going to have to make perception checks, sight-based. Or hearing, your choice.
Let's see. Okay, not terrible. 17.
Lionel got a natural 20 for a natural 20. So the two of you looking around see perched in the branches directly above, like one of the branches perched above the wagon is this shadowy shape. It's very lanky, but you can't make out features, with these two lidless white eyes looking down. And as it's looking down at you, Antyr, and you look up at it, it just goes meow, and then leaps away to a nearby branch, and then leaps away through the darkness, just gone. But it made the meowing noise that Indylus makes. Just looks down and he goes meow, and then leaps away through the darkness and disappears. Gone.
Lionel, you saw that, right?
Of course. Wish I hadn't.
Did the feet that I was jumping away on, did they look like the feet that were standing behind?
Yeah.
That would have made the impressions.
Something is following you in this region.
We are being stalked. Okay. Well, it's good to know. Well, it's not good to know. It's unsettling to know, but it's... We are aware now.
Oh, I will say this. When it was up in the branches weren't moving when that creaking noise was being made. That thing was making the creaking noise of moving branches.
Oh, no ma'am. Okay.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like you do get a good look of it because it's darkness, but you have dark vision, I believe. So yeah, but you see this like long, lanky, shadowy figure, like very thin, emaciated, bald almost, with elf-like pointed ears, but everything is just kind of obscured by shadow, with these two lidless white eyes, and then it just leaps away and disappears.
Antyr's going to quietly shuffle over to Hopper, close to Hopper, and it's going to gently lift one of Hopper's ears and just begin to comfort pet one of Hopper's little ears.
Okay. 3 hours later.
And I am trying to sleep.
3 hours later, Torger, you would wake up at your specified time that you would have wanted to wake up at.
Torger, before you leave, good morning. Before you leave,
Okay.
be careful. There's something that has been following us since we got into this swamp area place. Just Lionel saw it. Lionel can confirm.
Lionel's awake because she only needs 4 hours and just nods.
They killed Indylus.
Wait, Indylus is dead?
Temporarily.
Wait, what?
I'll show you later. When you return, I'll show you how this all works.
Okay, well.
Just please be careful.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm about to eat some swamp chicken with some swamp ginger and swamp potatoes. I'm not afraid of swamp shadows. And I would like to specifically go out before the sun comes up.
Yeah, the sun is still very much down. It's still pretty late night, early morning.
So then, as I step out into pure darkness, throw the cloak around.
Yep.
And gain 5 temporary hit points.
You also would have gotten a long rest too.
Hell yeah.
Also, Antyr, long rest. Everyone else at this point can mark off a long rest too because you've slept the 6 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna step probably about 20 to 30 feet away
Okay.
from there, and then turn around and look. And
Yeah.
I'm in darkness.
Yeah. Out of the you are out of the tiny hut, but yes, out into genuine pitch darkness because the moonlight doesn't get through the canopy of the trees, so it is just like that dark. Except for the occasional firefly.
Then
The letter?
yeah, I open the note. All right, Jerry, what you got for me?
Excellent. Nope, wrong document.
So I do the cool Oscars thing where I
Oh, nice.
That-
You got to. As you fully open the envelope, here in the darkness, a small collection of black spiders scurry out of the envelope, and then quickly dissipate into dark smoke. Just
launching him off my hand.
and
Ew.
they explode into smoke
That's-
as you do. Just
Oh, that's nasty.
the letter says, it's like a purple parchment stamped with his insignia of like a gnarly looking spider. And the letter says, "Our webs are far reaching and snare even the most distant prey."
Jerry, you's nasty. Why you's got to bring me a note? You knows I don't like spiders. Everybody knows that. You nasty, Jerry. Why I got to read this by myself? Gross. Put it back in the envelope. Well, I guess I don't got to keep this.
The insignia would remind you of a certain fighting pit in the Underdark.
Yeah, that's gross, Jerry. You's gross, Jerry. Nasty. God damn it. Alright. And then I want to take a look around and see if I notice anything just awesome.
Perception check. These big eyes just looking through the night.
$18.
Nothing. Relatively peaceful night.
I want to then. Can I try and like take a deep squat somewhere?
Yeah.
To both encourage a good muscle definition and discipline, as well as like trying to be really still and see if anything does show up for the next like 25 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. You need me to roll anything for
No.
hiding or disguising or anything?
Nope.
And I'm gonna just keep watch there.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of the night goes by uneventfully. You all naturally wake up with the sun still down.
I'm at breakfast.
But you all do have a long rest, so you haven't marked that off. And yeah, you all wake up, and as soon as, like... The reason you're waking up is because as soon as the tiny hut dissipates, the noise of the jungle starts to emanate again, and so does, like, the weird dampness that hangs in the air of this weird, swampy gloom. And Grin is making breakfast.
Yep.
Alright, what are you making?
You
You got all that pig, you got ginger, swamp potatoes called duck potatoes, salt, pepper,
Yeah.
hardtack, bog butter, rum.
Yeah, he's gonna take a little
You
bit of the
have
bog butter.
You have a whole pig.
Yeah, and he's gonna make bacon.
Okay.
It takes a while for bacon to become bacon, but I like
Yeah.
where your head's at.
Grin doesn't know that.
Can I make bacon?
It takes a long time to cure pork into bacon.
You're on your way to making bacon with the other thing if you don't smoke it, but you could use some like kind of pork belly. You can make
Grin
certainly
wouldn't know this, so yeah.
You know what?
You can attempt to make bacon.
Go wild with your pig parts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put
sounds-
a little bit of bog butter in it.
It's cured in salt for 8 hours or so.
We got plenty.
Yeah, of course.
There'll be about at least 3 more days of bacon.
There will be better bacon down the road once it's cured long enough.
Yeah.
'Cause I think it takes like 2 months.
Now it's
Depending
just
upon-
like
yeah.
essentially little pork steaks.
Okay, easily done. So yeah, make me a cooking check, which is I think
Constitution?
you don't have proficiency in it, so it's just going to be a straight roll because you don't have
Yeah.
proficiency in cook supplies, so it's just a d20 roll.
Make a cooking check.
Oh, so it doesn't. Oh, so it's like a pure luck thing.
Tools.
There's no.
If you're proficient in a
There's
tool,
no
it adds
like.
your proficiency.
It's not It's not
No.
an ability.
No, it's because you don't have proficiency in a certain tool.
Right. Oh, okay. So like ability would
It'd be like
apply,
wisdom.
like,
It'd be
the-
wisdom. Probably.
Oh, but are we doing that or no?
Yeah, just your wisdom modifier, no
Okay,
proficiency
Thank
bonus.
you. Okay.
Oh no.
That one.
Ooh, and that one.
No. Oh no. Breakfast is ruined.
Yeah.
Describe how you ruin breakfast. I'll let you do that.
There's a particularly bad spot within the bog butter that I didn't see because it's a little dark.
Okay.
And I mean, like my vision is like black and white.
Yeah.
I have good dark vision, but it's like I couldn't see it particularly
Yeah.
the bad spot in the bog butter.
Okay.
But it's like something. I'm imagining something was fossilized within the bog butter
Sure,
that you
that
just happened
happens.
to accidentally put it, like the goop left over from whatever
happens.
that was.
That happens.
No, the goop becomes gritty.
Yeah.
Why?
Or like it's like what oil would be. Like
Okay. So like a piece of the urn, the stone, like the clay pot it was in, might have broken off and gotten into the.
oh, I was anticipating like a fat like big ass beetle like
Oh,
decomposed in there and became sludge.
They tend to seal the jars, but sure. A big old
Oh, okay.
beetle. Over time, the jar cracked and a beetle got into it and is like solidified inside the butter. And
Yeah.
some of the
Oops.
there's remnants of like beetle slime or like rot. Bog butter like is in the ground for like thousands of years. That's how long it's in there
Yeah.
for. So this is like a couple thousand or 100. It's a very old beetle that is now
Yeah.
permeating
It's
this.
oil.
It's beetle butter. Big bad beetle butter.
Oh no, I read that fanfiction.
It dinner. Breakfast is bad, y'all.
Blue blood,
Yeah.
peanut butter.
This is bad.
This is
Do we have the poisoned condition?
uh
Or can people smell and tell?
it's an easy smell. This is probably bad.
Okay.
Hey,
If I eat it anyway, can I roll?
You definitely are making a Constitution save, but since you're a dwarf, advantage.
All right. Do I have a lower DC? Because
Torger, you know
I've-
what? The Underdark people eat a lot of insects and stuff. This probably smells good to you.
it's probably fine. It's probably
So
fine.
Torger, you can eat it without
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
No check,
I'm-
no checks for Torger, but Vonkar hasn't been down in the Underdark in a very long time.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, do I get a lower DC because I've been like nat 20ing every check to eat?
Yeah, of
Grin's
course.
cookie?
Your DC's lower.
Okay.
Oh my god. No, you're.
Torger just doesn't have one at all. Torger, the Underdark people eat bugs all the time.
Let's see. That is a dirty 20.
It's good.
Oh, this is pretty good. What are you guys talking about?
Well, it's
Again,
not
with his
good. You
hand.
just don't get sick.
No, Vonkar, but Vonkar wants to support us.
Just
in
be
the way,
nice,
so
yeah.
He's like, I mean,
Hey,
also,
Grin.
he's not too picky.
Grin, can I talk to you?
Yeah.
Probably an hour to cook that.
It comes in. I think I was wrong. I think you did okay.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It smells. I don't think I can eat it myself though. I'm not. It doesn't smell
Oh,
good to me.
Don't-
I get it.
Doe will
I
try
get
some
it.
too.
You don't want to get high off your own supply. I get it.
Yeah.
All right, but he offers a 2-finger handshake.
Thanks. You know, I'm really starting to question that bog butter.
Doe eats some. Doesn't get sick. And just kind
Yeah.
of eats it.
Could I just try to roast a pork loin over the fire for the rest of us? Just nice and simple, salt.
He's just gonna eat rations.
Are you proficient in cooked utensils?
Nope.
Same as Grin. D20 add your wisdom modifier. It'll be
Which
about
is a +0.
You're cooking a pork loin over a fire. That's gonna take like 2 hours. Pork loins take
Maybe
a
just
long
a
time
little
to
pork
cook.
chop. Maybe one pork chop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, one pork chop.
Okay, so probably
Just
about
something-
20
Because
minutes.
Hopper did not
Or-
eat much of anything yesterday.
About 10 minutes, yeah. Yeah. Give me a wisdom check.
12.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's better than average. So you cook a edible pork chop.
Doesn't taste great. It's not
I
great.
mean, it
it's
tastes
just
better
salt,
better than
seasoned with
average. Yeah,
salt.
that's all you need on good meat. That's all you need. So it's
Better
better
than
than
beetle butt bacon.
Salt, little pepper.
that's all you need for meat. You don't need to
Shit,
be crazy
sounds
about
good.
it. Best
Grin, you
steakhouses.
looked
Best
hungry.
steakhouses only put salt and pepper on their steaks. So yeah. It tastes good.
So I cooked that for.
You ever
me,
drive
Grin, and
past
Antyr.
a pig farm and not get mad about it?
I mean, I get mad when I see all the pigs out on the road in the bucket they put them in.
Yeah, no. They put them in a bucket? What's going on in Canada?
We drove by a
Why?
farm once, and they
big bucket.
they had like a big old like plastic bin, and all it was piled full of pigs in the summer, and it was
Oh my
bad.
god.
Anyways,
Just a pig pile and a big.
yeah,
We'll talk it later.
it's wild. Hopper, your pork chop's fine. Grin,
That's
That's wild.
It's up to you if you want a taste of your own.
No, he smells it. He's not. No.
Okay.
He's just
Luckily-
he's just gonna like. He's just gonna like
I'm gonna share the pork
fake
chop
eat
with Grin
it,
that I
fake
made.
eat it,
Okay.
and then just like gobble some hardtack. Like,
Hopper did say they're going to share their pork chop with you.
Yeah.
Which tastes good. As the morning sun begins to rise, the clay pot of bog butter is still there. You can see that strange remnants of, like, you can see like a couple beetle legs kind of sticking out of the butter where you scooped from.
Just the cartilage.
Oh no.
But that's
Is that what it is
that's
so
all.
bad?
That's all. That's yeah. You took the entire beetle out and cooked it. It was a big beetle, probably like this big, and it's all gone now. Just a
I
couple
thought
legs
it was
sticking. out.
oddly. I thought it had some odd lumps. That must have been it.
Grin, do you think I could have a try at that next time?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Anty, are you eating the pork chop or the meal? Grin
Andrew's
made?
eating rations.
You're not eating the nice pork chop Hopper made for everybody.
Yeah,
No,
my very
that's fine.
bland but edible pork chop.
Thanks, Hopper. I will
Antyr
look
doesn't
for it.
really. Antyr
It's
is
fine,
definitely
Antyr
nose
loves
up
rations.
a bit. Antyr has nose up a bit. Would much rather just eat rations than
This is such a shame.
attempt these other people's food.
Hey, Antyr, speaking of cooking,
Hmm.
when are we gonna like? Because when we go, we're gonna zoom, right? Like we're gonna need to
Yeah.
like blind Hopper and Doe and just book it, right? So that they don't know exactly what we're doing.
We'll just keep them in a place that they can't see directly. And we'll just go straight into the water.
There's also an underdeck that has no windows.
We'll put them there.
Right. But otherwise, we need to make sure
Just
their eyes
keep
are
'em in the
closed when
brig.
we summon this thing, right?
I would prefer if their ears were closed because there's a word that I have to say. So I prefer if their ears were closed. I don't mind the eyes.
Alright. Alright. Well, whenever it needs to happen, just give me a signal and I'll be like, Hopper Doe, come here.
Oh, of course.
What is it? What do you need?
oh, sorry, I meant like when Antyr. It was talking to Antyr specifically, quietly, and saying,
Oh.
"Whenever you give me the signal, I'll bring over
well-
Hopper and Doe."
Sure, we'll finish this, get everybody situated. We'll have to load up Cornelius and the cart.
Don't worry, I can keep Hopper and Doe unawares for a while, I think.
Justin, just a clarification.
Yep.
When, because I don't want to attempt to read through this, maybe you know off the top of your head. If we were to store things in the Luminera,
Yeah.
whenever we turn it into a disc, does those things get expelled?
Oh, right.
I don't remember.
I don't know if I disclosed that. Let's say yes, because it would be a pain in the ass if everything gets ejected every time you use this.
So it gets shrunk down with
because
it.
it can hold up to
if it's in
5.
the
It can
holding.
hold up to 5 tons of cargo. So it'd really suck if you have to load and offload 5 tons of cargo every time.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, it
Okay.
probably goes into the down to the disc. Not creatures though. Only we'll say
We
only.
totally could have
cargo.
put the Lumen Spire in the cargo bay.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know. It was still new. All right. Once everybody looks like they're done, I don't think anybody prays or prepares spells aside from Antyr. Antyr did swap
Hopper does.
out.
He does a little bit of tinkering.
Oh, okay. Antyr didn't swap any other spells out, but did take a different cantrip.
Okay. And Grin, the corruption in your hand has not gone further.
Thank God.
Okay, thank you. He would have definitely looked at it, so thanks.
You easily would have seen that when you were cooking as well. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Hopper, it's your turn again. Let me see your doll.
Alright. And I pull out my
Sure.
Mini
Another attempt
My
at
hip
dispel
hop.
magic.
D20, add your spell modifier. Spell casting modifier.
That's better. 17.
17. The hopper doll just crumbles to dust.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
There's a little traumatized response of Hopper like closing his eyes and like, oh no.
Hopper also
and not
crumbles to
thinking
dust.
he's
No, I'm
gonna-
kidding.
Yeah, thinking he's gonna disintegrate. I was like, am I okay?
Okay. Hop over here real quick. I'll explain some things to you really quick.
Nice.
All right.
And Antyr's going to give Hopper a rundown of the discussion that was had between the group of last night, as well as between him and Grin this morning, or them and Grin this morning.
Okay. Sweet.
Antyr's going to look to the others. Are we ready to get started?
Grin is going to like go over to Doe
Okay.
and like situate him, and then just start playing Minor Illusion.
This comes out, and
And-
Antyr's going to turn their face away and say, "Flutter."
The Minor Illusion is essentially with musical accompaniment, Noose's
Okay.
material collecting mantra.
Okay. Cool.
Kill the
Oh,
skin,
yeah.
scrape the fat, eat the meat, crack the bone.
So frightening.
All right.
Frightening,
So
but I love it.
the disc explodes in a flash of color into a massive 100-foot long, 20-foot wide, metallic vehicular flying dragonfly. And
Don't
uh,
cast it up.
100 feet long,
Blindfold
yeah.
Doe.
takes up the road, 20 feet wide. The wings kind of clip some trees on the side of the road and take out a couple of the trees. Just.
Hopper, did you get
Okay.
a chance to fly?
I did not last time. I was busy shooting a man on a Jabberwock.
All right. Now you have the chance. I'll direct you of where we're going.
Yeah, and Grin's gonna be a nanny and just kind of keep playing like sound
Okay.
over Doe so that they can't see anything and all they're hearing is that mantra.
Lionel's just like, what is this thing?
What in tarnation?
But you can load the wagon on, bring it down into the cargo hold, which is empty. The lower deck is the only other deck. Yeah, you can get onto the Luminera. And Hopper's piloting it this time.
I do only have 3 spell slots though.
And you have to be proficient in
Is the
Arcana
thing.
to pilot it.
I am proficient in Arcana.
Okay.
But I am much more limited than Antyr or Doe would be.
Well, you just have to. So you can, for every spell slot that you expend, you power it for the amount of hours equal to your Arcana skill.
Okay, so we could go 7 hours on one spell.
Correct.
Yep.
Cool.
It doesn't get boosted
you-
for level spell slot. It's just,
Gotcha.
and if it runs out of fuel, it begins to plummet from the sky.
All so.
As an action,
Please
you can
warn.
also. It's an action to change, and it's an action to steer. It's an action to change direction. As an action, you can choose to hover, which causes, and this is all psychic commands through your spell, whatever. You can use an action to command the ship to hover in the space where it is and stop moving. The spell slots that fuel that the flight of the ship are still expended while hovering, so time still passes for that fuel while it's hovering. You can also choose to, as an action, cause the ship to displace, which causes it to shimmer and vibrate while in flight for as many hours as spell slots expended. So you have to use spell slots to cause the displace to happen. And while displaced, attacks against the ship and creatures are done with disadvantage unless somebody has a way of seeing through illusions.
Okay.
And this thing flies at 80 feet per round, 8 miles an hour, which is
Cool.
a little over half faster than Cornelius. 4 miles faster than Cornelius.
So we should be able to get to the coordinates we want to get to with one spell slot.
Yeah,
within
we're not
7
even
hours.
trying to get to a port now. We're just trying to get to the part in the lake where we need
Which
to
is the
drop.
center, yeah. Where your
Yeah.
ley lines converge in the center of Drowned Maiden Reef.
Right.
Alright.
Center
so
in reference
easy
to
peasy.
like. So I know it kind of
Yeah,
curved. So like
just-
here.
Yeah, I was
Or-
gonna say, Justin, could you put like a X marks the spot on the hex that
No.
that we would perceive? as
No.
like the location?
Y'all gotta guess.
I guess.
Could you put like a T where it's marked on our map?
No, I'm doing an X.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
that's- If a hex is 12 miles.
So we'll be going as the crow flies.
Yeah, each hex is
Instead.
12 miles. You travel 8 miles an hour.
Yeah, probably have to follow the road around the mountains.
Oh yeah, we
and
have plenty of
then-
time then. We should have plenty
Yeah.
of time to do
You don't
this.
need to follow the road. You can burst through the
Yeah,
canyon.
that's
No,
what I'm
we're
saying, as the
going-
crow flies.
Oh,
Crow
yeah,
flies.
That's
We're
true.
gonna go up into the clouds.
Okay, it says use
and-
so Hopper, you're piloting.
Yes.
You're spending a spell slot.
Let me mark a spell slot
Okay.
off.
So you clamber for the first time into the helm of the Luminara. It's this large,
It's so roomy in here.
not really.
I pull this
Oh, for
like
you,
further
for you, for
forward
you, it
than
would be.
it
That's
should be.
right, actually. There's
Yeah.
there's a
I pull-
large.
move the seat up. Lots of like chair movement. before
So
we
the
get started.
chair,
Checking the mirrors.
the chair magically fits to fit the pilot. So it's this large iridescent green metal chair in front of two large convex windows that resemble the eyes of a dragonfly. But yeah, no visible controls 'cause it's all powered by you sitting in this chair and focusing on your arcane potential. It's a 10-foot tall, 10-foot wide chamber with a hatch on the ceiling, accessible by a ladder. So you get in through the ceiling hatch. So yeah, you turn the vehicle on, the wings start to flutter and like vibrate, and the thing begins to rise up through the canopy, knocking, just destroying trees. Just. How high do you want to go?
Into the just above the clouds.
Okay. Luckily,
get closer
this
to the lake.
continent is floating in the clouds. So the clouds actually aren't that high up. So
Cool.
you're in the clouds. And you're flying which direction?
Southwest.
Southwest. Okay. Four
Is there like a navigation station where it shows like rough geographic
Nope.
coordinates? No, it's all okay.
It's all site-based looking out of these windows. So,
I see all sorts
The
of
sun
land.
at our backs.
Oh, Torger, did you want
Yeah,
to?
what was that?
I said I just see all sorts of land.
Did you want to
out-
see
out
how
the
I
window.
can
so for
call
those, so
Andylus?
quickly for those that are not in the helm, you're all on an exposed upper deck, overlooking just clouds, just clouds.
Can I move Doe to
Yeah, Doe will.
storage?
Well, Doe can,
under-
Doe can also go there themselves, but yes.
Well, they're blinded
Oh,
and
right.
deafened right now, so
Yep, you can lead Doe towards
Yeah.
the. I missed that part. Yeah, you can lead Doe towards the cargo hold,
cool.
lower deck rather.
Grin gives them a like friendly tap on the shoulder and starts guiding them.
Okay. Well, since all of the hexes I prepared were ground based, this flight is going to be rather uneventful.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
No, it's all good.
No,
There's
There
nothing
were
gonna.
certain elements that were made
Yeah.
aware of.
There's nothing gonna happen. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen up here. There's no reason to. So, all right, you just start flying away, which means I can turn off this audio.
Just we have a wind vortex audio that you're gonna play.
No, it's just
Yeah.
silence.
Heavy breathing ASMR.
Yeah.
During this trip, though, Antyr will get Torger, and we'll go down to the storage area.
Okay. It's the
So
same
it's
length.
not
It's the
as
same
crazy.
length as the ship, and it's empty aside from Doe, Grin, the wagon, and Cornelius.
Is Grin still doing the?
Yeah,
Fanfare.
He's still
Grin,
like
We can
Yeah.
stop that for now, if you want. Where?
Are you sure?
Just Doe's hands are on their ears, and you're just like slapping the sides of their hands, just gently.
Yeah, you could. It's all right. It's we have some time.
Yeah, judging by the map and the flight speed, you'll be where you want to go in 6 hours.
all right. Grin's gonna undo all the stuff around Dell.
Attention passengers, we have reached our cruising altitude.
Uh,
We will reach
But-
our final destination in approximately 6 hours. Please enjoy your flight. Stay seated until the seatbelt lights are go off.
Welcome to Nice Airport.
but Antyr will begin to ritually cast. What did I rename it? Oh yeah, Uncover Companion.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling the brazier out with the various herbs and incense, and lights them and begins to speak the incantation. And after it takes an hour plus 10 minutes, so after about 70 minutes of casting, the smoke that Antyr was kind of like manipulating begins to shift in form, almost like a roiling purple nebula. As it begins to shift, the stars begin to kind of blink, beep, 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 like piercing, and then you see the wings appear first, and then the nebula kind of expands and extends
Like a bird. I get it.
Well, and then you see the cat form
Oh.
as it goes back to the Trussum. Voila.
Yeah, I guess that that's I just didn't know that. I didn't know that they could. Like looking at Antyr, trying not to say it in front of.
Oh.
Andylis. Just
And
like,
Dallas knows. It's so what it is Andylis is a it's fine. They understand their spirit that I give a physical form to. So there's a moment of pain, but there's plenty of scritches and love that I give to Andylis to make up for that.
Wait, so these get a seed from the great tree, but when their sapling is snuffed, they don't come back as a new seed?
No, they're so imagine your
They
your
so
for
they
your
they're the same seed.
yes.
Whoa.
And I can change the form of the sapling if we're using your reference. Remember, Andylis
Yeah,
used
you
to be an
don't.
owl.
You get, yeah, cool. Okay, and you says you don't like birds.
I never
You said
I
you
didn't like
you got
birds.
no association with birds.
Well, I-
you make
I
you
was
makes a
saying-
nest. You're friends with all things that got feathers and wings.
You raise a valid point, but you were calling me a
Thank
dirty
you.
bird. I don't think I'm one of those.
You're kind of a dirty bird.
Right. Well, I guess we'll just sure.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay. You
Anyway, I
do-
was trying to show you something clever.
It's very
and-
cool.
Okay. I know you're not particularly adept with casting magic. Are you?
Yeah. What's no? I don't got to do magic. Actually, can I show
Well,
you something?
I've seen you fight like actual throw punches before. This is a little.
Yeah.
you've
Wait.
seen-
You never thrown a punch?
Honestly, no.
Do you needs to know how to throw a punch?
I have my magic. Do you think that would be
Wait. Hold on.
what?
Is that's why when we were in way back, you had a whole bunch of people trying to press you. I thought you was going to be fine, and they were all like right up on top of you, and you did not even. Did you not punch them because you just don't know how to throw a punch?
The idea of throwing a punch seems simple enough. I think I could if I needed to, but I don't think I would ever need
Whoa, hold on. All right.
to. I'm not trying to undermine.
You's got your magic. But
Right.
if you don't know how to throw a punch, I mean, it's not so much that you need to know. You need to feel the punch. You got to use your feet and your hands, like Yous connect with everything that ever was, and yous puts all that into your punches.
Is that what you do? That seems like a lot for each of your punches as you've thrown.
Yeah, not so simple, is it?
Like just a bit
If I had
much.
to counter, I just punch.
Right? All
So-
you's got to do, you have to remember everything that's ever happened to you in your whole life, but also you got to forget it.
You can all hear like a thunderstorm raging on outside now that has slowly started to roll in.
Hey, speaking of magic, you ever fight magic spiders?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. My combative magic casting has really only been a thing since, oh goodness, since I arrived here
Wait,
like-
what do you mean by here?
on this plane.
Okay, yeah, 'cause you were in like that plane where everybody uses their brains to move, right?
Yes, the astral sea.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But-
you ever seen magic letters? Like not like words, but like a letter when you open it, it gets all sorts of magics on you, but it's from like a gross person.
No, but we've had letters that had certain
Okay.
illusory script.
All right. You ever see anything like this? Shows them
Parchment.
the purple letter. What's up? Smartass.
Hey, Bert.
It's a letter and it's got like a spider seal, and I believe it says our webs reach far for our prey.
Yeah, our webs are far-reaching and snare even the most distant prey.
Our webs are far-reaching and snare the most. Yeah. You ever seen anything like this?
Can I see it?
No, I'll hold it here.
All right.
Knowing that sometimes touching things,
Mhm.
That's Trella.
sometimes touching things fucks people up, and there you actually
Oh, you see the
I mean-
hand. It's not even Antyr's hand. You see the the ethereal grip of the Magus Reach, his mage
but
hand.
he'll walk it towards you still. You might get the smallest hint that maybe Torger doesn't want you to get hurt. Maybe just a tiny
A
hint.
smidge. All right, I can kind of do what Hoppa does, but it requires me to actually physically touch it at one point.
No, I mean
okay.
just you don't got to touch it.
I won't then. But
But this, do
parchment
you ever
with
seen a
purple
seal like
writing?
this? Well, no, it's a purple. You tell me whatever color it is. Actually, Torger can.
oh, that's right.
Starting to see the beginnings of like violet.
Okay.
Just the edge of color. Just the edge of color.
Oh my God, this can be so good.
Just a touch of, just a tiny, like maybe knows there's a difference,
Yeah.
but doesn't know how to articulate it.
The
And you asked if Antyr has seen the seal before.
seal, yeah.
How often did Antyr leave their tower and go to the capital of Dragonsbeard, would you say? That's the continent where your tower was on. Keep in mind, your tower is on a glacier.
Right. Yeah. Probably weekly.
Weekly, you'd go to the capital. So the capital
Because
is the
they would have
northernmost
to
tip of the
get
continent,
food.
so
Yeah, they
you would have
get-
to use your special means of travel. I think you've disclosed what it was to the group before.
Mhm.
To go
Yep.
to the capital. Give me an intelligence check, history check, to see if you do
Okay.
recognize this seal. And yeah, Hopper, the storm is getting a little more intense as the closer you get towards the reef.
Not bad. 15.
15. There. It's a familiar seal. You've probably seen it in passing, but you don't know what it's for. Like probably
Sorry,
marked on like doors and stuff.
A reminder: it's a purple parchment, and the seal is
It's like a gnarly looking like evil spider.
gnarly spitter.
Can
Spooky.
I ask and possibly weave a dream with you?
Yeah.
Again, guys, well-known fact. I have acute arachnophobia, and I'll say a real nightmarish looking nasty one is the one that's got like such long hairs that like eventually starts to not have eyes because it just feels around. So anything that can feel something it can't see,
Yeah.
so something that has a long reach that feels the vibrations of its long webs and can move almost without seeing, like, I think that is a terrifying concept for a group that is searching for someone that can move without seeing, can trap without being present. As those tendrils.
Looking at the map, sorry.
Yeah.
Looking at the map of this continent, not the current one. What is this? Dragon's Beard. Where is the capital again? What is it called?
I might not have updated the map you have due to all like the weird D&D rights issues that were coming out.
True.
So it was originally called Lolth's Crown.
Got it. Okay.
And then I wanted to separate my pantheon as far as possible from the D&D pantheon. So it's called Web Crown now.
Web Crown. Okay. Yeah, this is from the
Webagale.
Webagale address. Yeah, Antyr will kind of take a moment thinking, milling through. When I visited,
Takes all the time you need.
I saw it occasionally in Web's Crown while I was there, but I only saw it in a few places that I assumed were abandoned, or I didn't pay much note to them. I was only really went to get supplies for food and warmth and such like that, but I kept it fairly quick and simple. But
yeah, I think this is a people who's makes me their slave, but then I ran away. So like,
wait, what?
Wait, I definitely told you guys that.
Yeah.
You told us that you were forced to fight.
Well, yeah, fight slave, like a punch slave, like a punch and kick slave.
Are you from
Like-
Dragonsbeard?
What?
Are you from Dragonsbeard? Icy place. You talk about ice and such, and people under the ice.
I'm from where there's no sun.
Okay. But when you came up from the place with no sun, the first sun that you saw was shrouded in cold?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But I ran until there was no needs to run anymore. And then I just started moving from place to place. So, yes?
As you guys are having this conversation, the Luminaria starts to move a little more from the storm outside, and a hopper on the distant horizon, in the direction you're going, you can see a red light. And that's where we're going to go to break, because we're at the 2.5 hour mark. And we'll be back in 10 minutes to finish off the last hour or so. So, see you all back here in 10 minutes. Bear with me while I find Caleb's window. There it is. So, Hopper, you told me during the break that if it was storming, you were going to dip the vehicle down below the clouds so y'all don't die horrifically.
Yes.
Yeah, so clearer now.
Or if we're gonna start diving, we're gonna be able to see where we're diving.
So clearer now on the horizon, still a few hours out. We'll say you've flown for like 3 hours for the sake of the narrative. So half the trip to go still. On the distant horizon, you can see where the storm seems to be centered. That's where the storm clouds are the thickest. And in the distance, you can see the storm clouds kind of churning. And where they're churning is just red light. And that's...
I know I'm inside the cockpit.
Yeah.
But do I get any arcane resonance off
Absolutely
of this storm?
not. You gotta cast spells to get that.
Can I start ritually casting detect magic in the cockpit?
You will stop using your action to fly.
Oh. Alright. Attention passengers, we are approaching a storm in the middle of the reef. If anyone has the ability to detect magic, now would be the time to do so. Thank you, and we will be arriving at our destination shortly. Thank you for flying Harengon ways.
Oh.
Beautiful.
And yeah, you guys can feel like, you don't see it because the lower deck has no windows, but you just feel like rain.
On air.
You just feel the
On Harengon
you
ways.
just feel the rain just pelting the side of this mechanical vehicle. Just ping, 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 ping.
Andrew's gonna walk above deck with the mage
Okay.
hand,
Oh wow!
shielding their
Of
eyes.
course. You see
Hair
the reef.
blowing in the breeze.
Yeah.
You and Hopper both see the reef below. The reef below is rough. It's churning ocean water from the storm. It's filled with thousands of shipwrecks. As far as you can just see shipwreck. I can't even say that. Whatever. Time's fast. Lots of shipwrecks. And also dotting through the reef are massive spires of rock, a couple 100 feet tall. You're high enough where those things aren't an issue, but these spires of rock are filled with holes. So this raging wind is blowing through the holes and causing this whistling effect through the rocky spires.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
That's really cool.
And there's a ton of shipwrecks. And yeah, Antyr, you see where you're headed, in the direction you're headed, churning storm clouds, kind of where the heart of the storm is. And there's like a red light just where the heart of that storm is, like 3 more hours out. Like distant horizon.
Everyone, I think you should take a look at this.
Yeah, well,
Alright,
Should we-
let's look at it, okay?
You would
No,
know
no.
the storm it'd be best for Grin to not be flying up here. It'd be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grin's yeah. If it looks like there's a strong wind, Grin's on their feet.
Yeah, you can feel the vehicle like
Uh,
shifting
yeah.
from the wind.
Yeah, I believe Grin's walking speed is 10 feet.
Perfect.
So he got them tiny legs.
Lionel, I'm used to tropical storms, and Lionel will also go above deck, leaving just Cornelius. Is Vonkar still asleep down in the?
If no one has woken him, yes.
Okay, cool. You're snoozing down there then. Lionel will also come up. Doe will not.
Okay.
And yeah, you all see the reef as I've described. The churning clouds about 3 hours out in the distance, and where the churning is happening, like a swirling vortex in the clouds, nowhere else. A red light. Don't see what's making the red light, but it's just a red light in the heart of that storm.
all right. So that looks pretty bad. Does that mean that the thing we're looking for has already been grabbed, or well?
I'm not sure.
Like a massive bolt of lightning just tears across the sky. Red lightning. Just
Because before it's stuff that was, I don't know, and that's I don't
Do
know.
you have an ETA? Well, how far does it look like it's away here, Hopper?
About 3 hours. You're muted. You're
About 3 hours.
you're about halfway.
Yeah, on the roof PA, just about 3 out. That's not the accent. Where
Nope.
did Kenna come from? We are about 3 hours out from our destination.
Alright, so, do you have enough juice for that?
I can get us there, but with the intensity of the storm, we may have to delay our landing a little bit. We should have an hour grace period, give or take.
Alright.
Do you keep on the same trajectory then?
I think I'm gonna start curving a little bit more south than east to
Okay.
not go directly for the eye of the storm, but kind of skirt around it.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good
And,
question.
and
Is
use
it,
the momentum of the wind to
is it
keep
course?
propelling us forward.
yeah,
or at
is it corkscrewing?
Yes.
So
In the clouds.
Yeah, so Hopper's like just riding that.
Yeah, I want to follow the
corkscrew.
direction of the wind and just follow the wind direction,
Okay.
like on the outer storm base,
Anyone doing anything?
and also like bring it in so that we're about a mile above the water.
Okay.
That's pretty. That's
That would put you.
still.
Is that-
that's
is
real
that
high.
too low?
That would put you back
That's,
in the
no,
clouds.
that's too high.
Oh,
that's too
okay.
high.
Because like I said, this continent is floating in the clouds, so the cloud cover is nowhere near as high as it would be on the ground, like a ground continent.
Yeah,
We probably
I'd
want
say-
to.
I'd
We
say
probably
like-
want to ride like
like
500 feet.
500
If
feet. Okay,
that.
yeah, I'll bring it over
500
to.
feet. So just for clarity, for the rest of this,
Tops.
for the rest of this
That is
continent,
like a tenth of a mile, though.
for the rest of this continent, just so everyone's aware, since this continent is in the sky, the clouds are about like 600 feet, 700 feet up. They're not high up at all.
Okay.
Just for future clarity.
Okay.
So 500 would put you
So
directly
500
would be
feet.
like directly below the clouds.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone doing anything in these last 3 hours, or just so I know, for the sake of the narrative, anything at all?
And she's going to do the spend a short rest, do arcane recovery, get that spell slot back.
Okay. If you need anything, if you're preparing
Just for me.
anything, preparing, got 3 hours before you're where the heart of the storm is, or at least where the X is, which is where the heart of the storm is.
Antyr's going to begin ritually casting to put it right. Antyr wants to time the finish of the casting to be right when they arrive or get close to the storm.
Yeah, sure.
But they're going to
easily
ritually
done.
cast Astral Cache.
Okay.
And the clarification's sake, only reason they'll do this, the Luminera metal disc. I don't think we have a weight on that. Is that more than 5 pounds?
The disc.
It's a small, flat, metallic green disc for concealment and storage. So don't know.
Did I put
that.
a weight on it?
I don't see one.
Then I'll say it's probably not 5 pounds.
It's more.
No, it's probably not more than 5
Oh,
pounds.
okay. Okay, so it'll work. Cool. Okay.
The vehicle, however, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anything, anybody? Vonkar still snoozing? Okay.
Yeah, I think Grin's gonna go down and wake Vonkar and get them ready for potentially a a cannonball drop into this thing.
Okay.
Hey, Vonkar. Yeah, clear it out.
Oh,
Clear it out. You want
old
some help
man-
there, brother?
old man
Like
waking up.
pats his back.
Oh no, I'm good. What's up? What's up?
Well, things are looking pretty bad. We're in the middle of a storm. There's like red lightning, and we still got like 2 hours till we're there. I don't know if you've been catching on to any of this turbulence, but
It's Bentel rocking me to sleep.
no, yeah, okay. All right. Well, I just thought.
No,
I'd
I
let you
appreciate
know.
it. Let's go take a look. Red light. You don't see that every day. Let's go take a look at this.
You know what? You don't see that every day. That's a good call.
All right, Vonkar, as you come out onto the deck, you see the raging seas below, the rocky spires that are whistling through the wind, the swirling, churning storm, like a corkscrew pattern in the direction you're sort of headed, but not anymore. And in the center of that churning vortex is just a red light, like a crimson red light.
Huh. Weird.
I know, right? Weird. All right. Do we have the fungi ready to go? Potentially, if we need to just like drop this thing and jump into the water.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes, it's ready.
All right.
All right. As you
Anybody else real nervous? Do we know what we're gonna be seeing down here?
No, not at all.
Man, that's the downside. I feel like if we would have stopped at Port Creech, which I know we can't, maybe we could have learned something from the locals. But you know what? All these guys, we know that they know what we're looking for now. So it's about time, and we don't have time on our side anymore.
No, we don't.
as you continue this trajectory, the storm does get a little more violent because you're now entering the territory of the full territory of the storm. It's a big storm. Hopper, I need you to make a dexterity check using your dexterity while you pilot the ship.
Okay.
So this would be a dexterity save, rather, using your dexterity saving throw.
Dex save. Okay.
Yep. The storm is getting much more violent, and the lightning is like... The wind is like...
Okay. Double checking. Okay. Cool. Dex save. Ooh, okay. 21 total.
21. You feel like a massive updraft is coming to flip this thing, but you kind of lean into the updraft and don't flip, and you keep going. And as you keep going, everyone else feels like the sudden shift in
Attention
movement.
passengers. We are coming upon some unexpected turbulence. Please remain in your seats with your seatbelts buckled. We will be arriving at our destination shortly. Thank you again for flying Harengon ways. I have been your pilot, Thimblefoot.
Did everyone
Thank you again.
Did everyone retire to the lower deck, or are they still on the exposed upper deck?
I'm still tickled by the turbulence.
Turbulence.
But yeah, lower deck or upper deck for everybody. The upper deck is fully exposed. The lower deck is completely covered.
Probably lower
Yeah,
deck.
lower deck.
Just
We know
because
that.
if
We
it's
know
coming
that.
apart up there.
We know that if Antyr like closes this object down, that we'll just be kind of
Yeah.
shunted
Yeah.
anyway. So
And you're
might as
you're
well
currently-
just avoid the.
Yeah, you're currently about 500 feet up.
Yeah.
So you're flying in that direction. A mile out, so we're at the next 3 hour mark. So as you get about an hour out, 1 p.m. As you get an hour out, Hopper, you see this, nobody else does. You can see a small island made up of those jagged rocks that have kind of formed. They're like dark and churning above this island is this vortex, and in the vortex is a red light, and poking through that vortex is a massive dead willow tree that's slowly coming through. Like a mile tall willow tree is slowly pushing its way through the vortex. Built on the island and emitting a beam of red light up into the sky is a familiar looking tower, but much larger than the one you encountered in the Feywild. This Orbis Encora is a couple 100 feet tall, made of flesh and stone and wood, and nestled at the top is a massive sphere filled with blood that is emitting this beam of red light up into the sky and creating a doorway and seems to be pulling something through. Um, Scattered around the exterior of the island, you can see large, weird ships. They look like seafaring ships, but they have like massive like excavators and nets built onto them, like they have previously excavated something from the ocean. And there are Umbral Knights all over that island, and that island is directly where the X is. And you're about a mile out. But you see a familiar construct, Orbis and Cora, and yeah, directly up in the clouds ahead, you can see what looks like this massive, massive dead willow tree growing out of a mountain, and that seems to be coming through, but not fully, hasn't fully come through yet. Like, it's just the branches sticking out of the vortex. And that's all
we
you...
got, Hopper?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, still writing notes. Attention passengers, we are approaching our destination. Unfortunately, we do have some blockage on the tarmac that we will be attempting to land on. Be prepared to initiate combat if
I will say
necessary.
there's like 50 knights on that island. It's not just like a small scale, it's a huge scale gathering on that island. And then you can see a massive port city in the distance made of like, and then which you can assume is Port Craig.
Yeah, Grin's just heading to the cockpit. I don't know if anybody else is, just to like.
Okay, so you'd have to climb up the little ladder to
Well,
get on top
just
of
so
the
that
head.
they don't have to use the intercom and we can just have a conversation.
Oh, the intercom goes
Yeah.
all throughout the ship. Like, you don't have to be
Yeah.
anywhere specific.
But we would have to have some way
Just
to
a
talk
one-on-one
to them
conversation.
too.
Like, I
We-
don't-
we
It's
speci-
just a one-way
Can I hear them when
We
they're
conversation.
in the lower
we
deck?
specified last time when Antyr was in the pilot's room, you could still communicate.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Sorry, it's been a while.
You get the feeling Hopper just likes using the intercom in a. He feels very official using the intercom.
Yeah, you
That's
see
awesome.
an island filled with Umbral Knights, like they're working, and occasionally you're still a mile out, so you don't get like fine
Yeah.
details. But the island is a lot of moving figures on it.
Are we a mile out or an hour?
A mile
out?
out.
Okay, I thought
Would
you said an hour at
displacing-
one point. So
Would displacing the ship use
It uses a spell slot.
Okay. So
Oh.
could I use the extra hour we have to enact that displacement in the one spell slot?
It requires another spell slot to do displace.
Okay.
Hopper, guys?
And Hopper's not yet told you guys 100% what they're seeing.
oh, sorry, never mind.
So to translate, there are about 50 Umbral Knights on the island at the moment, with a couple of seafaring ships. It looks like they have been mining for something. There's also, a tree that is about a mile tall, and with a giant tower similar to the one we saw before, which is emitting the red light we have been following. That is all. Proceed communications.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Do you think they already have the sword? Sounds like they already do. So,
Well, they're searching for the sword, but they're using the ley line to bring in another fragment of the Fae.
so what should we do first? Should we, like, go underwater? Because if I remember correctly, the sword is underwater, right?
Yes, in the vision, I saw the sword at the bottom of the lake, or in this
So-
case, a reef.
Alright, gang, so what do you think we should do? Should we, like, try to disrupt this ritual that's going on, or go for the sword first?
Hopper, is the ship still flying, or are you using its hover function right now? You are a mile out.
I think I'm doing a wide. I think I'm doing a wide circle.
Okay, this thing
Around, so,
this thing does travel 8 miles an hour, so this mile you're gonna cover, not too long.
I think Could I actually bring it down and hover just below the water?
You would be much more noticeable if you
About-
did that.
But like 2 miles from the island?
So you're gonna go a mile back than the way you came. You're gonna turn around and go a mile back. Because you're currently a mile away from
no,
the
I'll
island.
stay up. I'll stay up.
Okay.
I think I'll go actually like just into the clouds so that it's a much more.
So back
difficult to
into
see us.
back into the storm.
Yeah, back
Okay.
like another 100
Okay.
feet to the like lowest level of clouds.
Okay. You all can feel the as you fly into the storm.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
I need you to make another deck save as you fly into the storm.
Oh man.
Why are we doing
So 12. I'm gonna use. Oh, I have a racial ability for this for dex saves. Is my movement considered technically 0 right now?
Yes.
Damn, then I can't do that. 12.
12. A massive bolt of lightning hits the Luminera.
Damn.
And
I rolled so bad for that. Um.
it takes 21 points of lightning damage, which does get through the damage threshold of 15. So the Luminera is now damaged. Lightning hits it, just and you all feel this like thing violently shift.
Okay. I'm gonna bring it back down.
Okay, so
below.
back down below the clouds.
I was trying to be sneaky and I get punished.
Yeah. Risk
You said
reward,
21 hit
right?
points?
I got it. I'll
You-
keep a
you
track
said
for you, Kate.
21. Okay.
21 lightning damage, yeah.
Okay. So that's 179. Okay.
179.
And you're still
Guys, I don't know about you, but it seems like we just take this thing low, get close, drop down into the water, and find this sword. Because I don't know what we're going to do against 50 of them guys. And unless we can, like, unless one of you guys has something that can destroy that structure, I mean, I think I might have a good shot.
I don't think anyone's Hopper. So everyone's still below lower deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Hopper's just described
so.
described the tower. Hasn't fully described what the tower is, but if they're describing a familiar tower, you all could probably assume it's similar to the tower they all destroyed in like your second section or whatever.
Mm-hmm. In the swamp.
In the plane of the Feywild that got pulled through.
But I don't know how we're going to do that when there's like 50 people on guard.
And this one is also much
So-
bigger.
So you're saying it's like a swamp tower?
No, this is a rock, stone, rock, and you're no longer in the swamp. You flew out of it. It's a rock, stone, blood, iron tower.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
make a call. What do we want to do?
But
I think
partially
we
a
do need
swamp
to go-
tower.
Do you think we need to
What?
go underwater?
Do we know if the Luminera is watertight?
It can't go underwater. It always rests on the
It
surface.
floats, yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to essentially land on the water and Antyr. That's what they need to do.
You're getting closer to the
I
island.
think we're hovering right now.
Okay, so you're not
Yeah.
moving at all.
I mean,
Yeah.
And you have about an hour of fuel remaining.
we don't have to do my idea, but I think we should just land on the water, use the funky, go underwater, you know, bring the dragonfly with us, and then just look for the sword underwater. Because I don't know what we can do against all this stuff up here.
Not much.
Do not have a way of contacting Guardian Bashan, do we? From
Nope,
such a distance?
we do not.
I think we should go with that plan.
Okay.
Prioritize
Break us
the
down.
smallest target.
As close to the island as possible.
I'm gonna take us down Because we're about a mile out from the island, right?
Probably a little under a mile because you're still moving. Then you just specified you did hover. So
Yeah. Can I attempt to bring us as far away? Like, what direction does it look like most of them are facing?
they're all facing the tower and looking up towards the thing that's coming
Okay.
through. But again, you're really far out, so you
Uh,
can't really pinpoint directions people are looking.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna drop us down where we are.
Okay.
I don't want to get too close to avoid being spotted.
You can see this tower, which means there's a chance they could see you. So I need you to make a stealth check.
Cool. Would I be using the ship stealth?
The ship doesn't have a stealth. It's just you attempting
Would
to.
I be using? Okay.
It's your stealth.
Okay. I wouldn't be using my dexterity because of my armor, right? It would just be a straight stealth check.
Straight stealth check.
Okay, sweet. Sweet. Oh no.
8.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm rolling real shitty because that was a +4.
So
Fuck you, D&D Beyond.
as the Luminara
Hey,
begins
man.
to descend,
D&D. It's all random.
oh yeah,
Let's tell a story.
the Luminara begins to descend.
So, because of the turbulence, we will have to do this very quickly to avoid detection. Everyone have the funky ready.
You're
And
gonna-
I will.
Pull out the funky.
Okay, 400 feet up.
Yeah.
300 feet up because it goes 80 feet per turn. So yeah, 400, 300, 200, 100. You're right above the rate.
Incoming.
And again, this is a storm raging ocean that's like.
Prepare for
Oh wait,
impact.
I shouldn't do this. Someone else needs to do this.
No,
Grin,
I
you're
don't
gonna
do
cast
it.
this.
I'll do
Okay.
it.
I need to do the other thing.
Yeah, for the ship.
Yes.
100 feet up. Are you landing this thing
Yeah.
on the water, or are you dispelling it as soon as you like? How's this working here?
I'm going to wait until Antyr says the words, especially since we can't breathe air once
Correct.
we use this thing. So I'm waiting until after they say the words and we're plummeting before using the funky.
Okay.
Antyr's doing like that. We're about to have impact.
Yeah, Hopper does give a prepare for impact warning when we're about to hit the surface.
You're
like,
hitting-
like
you're-
roughly
No, we're not.
when
gonna
we're about
hit
to like
the
make
Okay.
contact
I was
with
gonna
the water.
say. Okay, so you're
When
gonna
we're about to land.
you're gonna do a gentle land and not just go.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
No, I was gonna
Nosedive
nosedive.
into the.
Because that would probably destroy this
No.
thing.
No.
Um,
Yeah, no, we
I'm gonna-
want to have a TPK, so.
so you,
Yeah.
I have to ask
Hopper
questions,
right
but people
now, so I'm
specify.
Uh,
So you land on the raging ocean, and the thing is just rocking
going-
and shifting.
attempting to land as gentle as possible.
It's difficult.
Antyr. How far away is Hopper from the others?
Hopper's all the way up in the helm.
Okay, we need to run
That's still
through
within 30 feet. though.
above.
No, it's about 100
Yeah, I
feet
don't-
away.
Yeah.
100 feet
That's
long.
how
This thing's
big this
100 feet
thing
long.
is.
Everyone else is in the lower deck, so it's about a 100-foot difference.
Whoa, 100 foot deep?
100 foot long. So you're all technically 100 feet away.
Like we saw, we had to
But what if
run
you're, like-
up to the helm.
Yeah, you'd have to
Yeah,
get to the
let's
helm
all
to
just
do
get
it.
let's all just get to
Yeah.
the correct things. I'm gonna go ahead and use minor illusion to deafen
Doe.
Doe again, because we know that
And they're
secret word
and they're
has to be
still
said.
and there's are they still blinded or no?
They need to
The
be.
blinded stuff isn't really gonna make a difference at this point because they are. I mean, like they know where we're going.
Okay.
So
Cool. Then
they're
they're
and like I'm not gonna keep Doe blind when we're underwater.
yeah.
I mean, we did what we did. We try to buy ourselves as much time as possible. This is it.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Then
So everyone's
once-
rushing. Everyone rushing to the helm then.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm just trying to limit the amount of information they
Okay.
have.
I'm just
on
trying
us
to- I'm just
by
trying to-
keeping them down.
I'm just trying to get
Got it.
everything together because I haven't heard from
Yep.
some people what's happening. So.
My
uh,
bad.
As soon as Hopper lands, he's gonna go up to the upper deck.
Okay. You're all on the upper deck, and this thing is just rocking on the waves, just like the waves are like cresting at like 30 feet tall. It's a raging storm, and from like the upper deck, you all can see the tree that's coming through now is up in the sky, Like I said, massive, mile-tall tree growing out of this like gloomy, jet-black, rocky mountain, and it looks similar to the mountain with the tree in the distance that you saw in a landscape painting in the tower you were in the Feywild.
Once everybody's close, Antyr is going to speak the command word.
All
Flutter.
It shifts into the disc, and everyone falls about. This thing's 20. How tall is this thing? It's probably like 30 feet, 20 feet tall. So you plummet into the waves, and everyone's supposed to painfully get gills.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was gonna say Grin.
Okay, so everyone painfully gets the gills, and you have to submerge, or you start suffocating, and you're under the water of this raging storm. Strangely, beneath the surface is relatively calm. It's just the surface of the water that's raging, which is weird. Like, it's literally just like the foot on the surface of the water that's raging, and underneath this water, you can see that, like, this portion of the reef isn't super deep. It's maybe like 50 feet deep. There's shipwrecks all over that have sunk into the bottom, and a massive crater has been dug out of the bottom of this reef.
Does it look like there's any activity from the Umbral Knights down here? Or does it look like they've all
just
surfaced?
the excavation?
Okay. But there's no actual people?
No.
You said there's an island. Does that island have is that island a floating island, or is it actually connected?
It's
to
connected,
something?
like rocky outcroppings that connect it.
Okay, so it's just
Yeah, and it's about
all the way to the bottom.
And it's,
I mean, like, as far as we can know.
and it was about a mile out, so underwater you can't see it.
Okay.
But that's where all the activity was happening, was on the island. But you can see a crater in this region that was recently dug out.
Alright, Hopper, it's your vision. Where are we going?
The bottom of this reef looks familiar to your vision.
Okay.
And yeah, you're like in a region, like I said, a massive like excavation crater at the bottom of this reef that has disturbed a lot of the
coral line.
The coral line, and all the coral is like gray. Like, it's not colorful coral; it's all like gray and dead.
In my vision, was the coral living? Colorful?
No.
No, it was all dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any? Can I see any like very large landmark-looking pieces of coral?
No, not really.
That I possibly recognize? Okay.
Like, you recognize the terrain, and maybe some of the spots is roughly around where this excavation is taking place.
Okay. And I didn't see any sign of the excavation when I saw the vision,
No.
right? Okay. I think I'm just gonna start swimming straight down.
Okay.
And just start looking from there.
All right.
It's the best place I can think of to start.
All right. Is everybody following?
Following.
Okay.
Yeah,
Torger's gonna follow close behind to make sure
Okay.
that Hopper's cool.
And I'm also gonna be. Can I cast ritual cast detect magic while I'm swimming or no?
Yeah, you can. Does it have?
Okay.
Oh yeah, because you have water. Yeah, you can use verbal components if spell has it. Yeah, you can ritually cast detect magic.
Okay, sweet.
Nothing right now. As you're swimming towards the crater, it's about 50 feet down. Everyone's got like a 25-foot swim speed, because it's half your movement. So
You
it's
said
half
50
your.
feet down?
Yeah.
I would like to use Divine Sense.
Divine Sense. Tell me what that pings off again.
As an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the hollow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. You can use this feature 5 times per long rest.
Nothing.
Alright, cool. Thank you.
It also
So
pings.
specific.
It also pings off like evil creatures too.
Yeah, detect good and evil.
Okay, cool. Yeah, nothing.
I think I'm just gonna start doing, like Minecraft what's it called, strip mining pattern.
Okay.
Just follow the radius of my spell, and then recast it every few minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Just,
The crater doesn't emit.
scanning for the sword.
Yep. No magical pings. Just the pings from everybody else who's got magic going or you that are using spells, but like nothing pinging from the crater or the floor of the reef.
I think like after. So how long does the funky
8 hours or something like that.
8 hours? Okay.
Yeah, that's like a
I think like after an hour, I look at everyone's like, how long do we want to invest in this before we give up?
I mean, it's your thing, right? You want this sword to kill that guy that, killed Oberon, right?
Yes, but it is a very large reef, and it is possible that they might have picked it up already. And who knows what they are going to do with the tower up above.
I'm not gonna speak for everyone else, but me personally, I think, I'll be here as long as you want to be here.
Okay. Could I start doing increasing laps around the around the circumference of the fucking crater? That's what it's called. Yeah.
And still doing detect magic and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Is there... When I saw the vision, was there any, like, metallic glints that might hint in the direction coming off of the sword? Or, like glass reflections? Like, fractal reflections?
Yeah, you feel like you're in the right spot.
Okay.
I was gonna say, it's like, was the sword impaled into anything? And can we see a spot where the sword was impaled?
The sword was just laying flat.
Okay.
And yeah, with this thorough investigation you're doing of this little area, this is definitely the spot.
Okay. I think I want to shift my focus from looking for the sword itself, because that's a very small target. I want to shift for looking where there's color differences in the water, as if different wavelengths of light are being refracted off of this, off of the stained glass that is made of. So looking for like slight shifts in color where there shouldn't really be.
You've done this for about an hour and a bit now. No.
Hopper starts getting really frustrated. Yeah, he's getting really frustrated. And starts like swimming in erratic patterns, trying to find this fucking sword.
Hopper,
What?
what's going on? Did they get it already? Is that why they're able to do all this stuff up above? What's going on?
I don't know. It should be here, but it's not here. We haven't found it, and I'm not picking up any magic, and I fear they might have taken it already. But it should be here. I feel it should be here.
Grin's gonna go all the way to like the center of the zone we've been searching. Just plop down right in the dirt.
Okay.
Maybe even like dig a little bit,
Okay.
like a foot down. Shrug his shoulders, and then do another divine sense.
Nothing.
Hopper, I think I got it.
I fear you might be right.
You can kind of feel a tremor, just like.
And we can't possibly face a whole troop, legion of those knights.
Yeah, but I suppose we just head back. Maybe gamble on some dinosaur racing.
Hmm.
Come this close. I'm not going to give up on it now. At the very least, we are going to stop the tower and check in on the ley line. We can't have wasted all this time on nothing.
Well, maybe we can make a plan. We know they're there, and maybe we can do something to this island that screws them over. I mean, we're down underneath the water, right? Let's do something, kind of screw them up. Maybe make an earthquake of our own.
We could destroy their excavator.
Let's mess
make
up
us
this
a
whole dang
distraction.
island.
I will say, just so your expectations are met, the excavators look like big, like sailing ships with like large, like trawling based nets that you would use for like deep sea lifting, and that's, you can assume that's probably what made these. And the ships looked like humanoid sailing ships, so not something like a Fae would use, and the Umbral Knights are Fae. But there are those ships docked at this island where a bunch of the Umbral Knights are, which are possibly Fae.
This is a small island. Yeah, it's like
Uh,
maybe a square mile.
Smaller than that.
Okay, like a couple acres.
Smaller than that. It's like a rocky outcropping that a tower's been built on.
Okay.
It's probably like... Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's small, but made of big old jagged rocks. Enough for like a good amount of people to be on and this tower to be built on. But it's a dark, rocky island.
Maybe we do need to go to the port. I don't think we can do anything from here. I don't have magic. I don't know what other capabilities we have underwater, especially to try to disrupt whatever this is.
Well, what if we caused a distraction with the excavator? It might give us a window to sneak on the island. If we draw enough attention to the opposite side.
Then what happens if we manage to get into the tower? This one's gonna be guarded. There's gonna be people inside. The other one, we were lucky that it had been abandoned.
I will say, the Orbis and Cora was built inside of a tower. The Orbis and Cora itself is shaped like a tower, but there is no interior to it. So this one is probably built the same. It is just
So it's just
freestanding,
more of a
a spire.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. More of an obelisk than a tower.
But this one is much, much taller and is out in the open.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we need to regroup.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we can make a distraction big enough to distract like all 50 of those guys, Doe and I can go and destroy the tower. We got the stuff to destroy a tower between the two of us.
How does that sound to everyone else?
We have the capabilities to do so.
Doe and I? Yeah.
It did look pretty big, though.
It doesn't matter how big it is. If you tear down like 1/4 of it, the thing topples.
The very
Yeah,
least.
but you got to make sure that you're not the roots, and you're not just wind blowing the hair to the side. You got you got to move the feet, and ruins the roots if you're going to do it. I just learned that today.
You
If
can
y'all
you can
feel,
feel,
if
you
you
can
feel
feel another.
confident that you can do it,
What's that?
I said, if you feel confident that you can do it, then I don't have the capabilities of doing that, and I don't know if it's the smartest move to try to move in on something that is already in the process of working.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, is this an idea? We can always just head back too. I mean, there's not. I mean, outside of like distracting them and tearing down this spire. I mean, what else are we gonna do?
Before we head back, does anyone mind if I go in closer to the ships that are docked? Perhaps there is a slim possibility the sword is on board, or with someone on the island.
Swim underneath them.
The island is like a little under a mile away. It's a lot of swimming to get out there.
I mean, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
because we can breathe we're breathing underwater.
Yeah,
I mean, like
so-
we're gonna
Yeah,
be
we have
heading
8
towards that
hours.
island anyway.
Yeah.
So
So
may as well scope it out from a safe vantage point.
yeah,
Okay.
swimming's a little easier when you don't have to worry about drowning.
And the
That's
water
true.
breathing lasts for 24 hours, not 8.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Good to know.
We had to dispel the
Right.
statue to
Yeah.
get all of us.
So
Wait,
just keep
hold
swimming
on.
for now.
I got a question. Do you need people who can go and looks at things but not to be seen?
It would be helpful.
Yeah, okay. Why don't you relax and you just takes a beat, because I'm pretty sure eyes can be completely invisible. And I'm pretty sure, and he points right at Vonkar, I'm pretty sure you can be invisible,
Yeah, I did it the other day.
right? And he looks at Grin. Now I know that yous can be invisible.
Yeah, but my capabilities, since I have changed a bit, it's not as extended as it used to be.
Okay. Well, I know that Vonkar and I mean, I can use mine for up to an hour.
But I'm telling you, I can hide behind stuff pretty easy too. So
Very
Well,
tiny.
I just wants to let you know that we can get in, get out, and be super casual about recon if he wants us to make sure that the job is, you know, super casual.
Alternatively, we could also be a distraction.
Yeah, we also can get pretty damn big. Equally huge.
how do you do that without getting killed? There's like 50 of them.
Well, I mean, that's the point of a distraction, right? Here's my thinking. There's a rock in the water, right? You know, islands either are like this or they're like this under the water, right? So if it's like this under the water, we can breathe underwater. We have to hold our breath when we're above water, right? What if we just climb up the side, nab one, dunk him in the water, pull him into the water with us, you know, give him some good socks under the water, and then
Yeah.
just come up and just keep yanking them in. That draw their attention, and then when things
But-
start getting a little dicey, we turn invisible, we swim away, and then they're stuck looking in the water for us, trying to figure out who's yanking them in, giving you all the time in the world while we swim to safety.
Wait,
they
so this
also
is like a
do
classic
not need
Torger
to
Vonkar
breathe.
mix 'em up, huh?
That sounds like it.
Sorry, you were saying, Hopper?
The Umbra Nets, they also do not need to breathe.
Oh, do they
Wait,
The shadows, remember?
not? Oh, I'd forgotten that part.
shit, you guys, you just always poke good, very reasonable holes in plans.
Well,
It is, I admit, a very good plan, aside from the fact that we are fighting Fey shadows.
Yeah, just gotta make sure you tie rocks to the anchors so that
And-
they sink.
If you do swim, I did the math. It's going to take about 25 minutes to swim to where the island is from here.
Yeah,
that's
that
not
sounds
bad.
good.
We got 24 hours.
That's right.
What else are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Optional change.
I prepped for the road. Is all
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
fair.
say.
That's true. We just skipped ahead 3 sessions. It's fine.
I mean, it's a good
Optional
thing.
idea.
We just found out that we would have wasted a bunch of time. So
Yeah. What if, instead of you causing the distraction, I keep up detect magic, and perhaps if we find the sword on one of the ships, you two go aboard and try to sneak out with the sword and come back?
That's also a possibility, yeah.
Yeah, we's like totally casual and cool with whatever plan you want. And if it does include us beating the hell out of people and hiding,
Hey, what the two of you do on the ships means to an end. These are the bad guys, at least in our eyes.
Yeah, just remember, all those guys are resistant to bludgeoning and
Thunder
like thunder damage.
and psychic now.
Bludge. What?
Be careful.
Oh, and psychic.
Yeah.
Quick question, Justin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the rules for underwater combat. Are unarmed strikes one of the things that works well in underwater, or
No.
is that one of the things that doesn't?
Doesn't.
does
But
not.
natural attack. Oh, do unarmed strikes not count as natural attacks?
Underwater creatures with unarmed attacks, they're adapted to the environment, so it's not disadvantage for them. People not
Oh,
adapted
so
to
it's
the
like if you
underwater
have a swim
environment.
speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The weapons that are not are piercing weapons like short swords, spears,
Yeah,
stuff like
just
that.
stabbing.
tridents.
Tridents,
Can't, like, just-
crossbows go like their minimum range only, and then the belt just goes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ideal what to do.
Question. Would my force ballista be affected by this? By
No,
underwater?
No.
No? Great. Love magic. Magic's great, guys.
The only magic that's really fucked underwater is fire.
So, force ballista, not flamethrower. Gotcha.
Alright, well, seems like we got a couple plans here. What are we going with?
I think getting closer and finding out if it's on
Yeah.
one of the boats is a good idea.
I think it's a
Right.
good night for a swim.
Alright, let's do some recon, check out some boats.
Staying under the water where the water is nowhere near as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why expose ourselves when we can
Sometimes,
breathe underwater?
sometimes I gotta ask.
No,
Oh, yeah,
no,
for
agreed.
sure.
All right. So you swim the 25 minutes towards the island.
Yeah, I think just for shits and giggles, I keep re-upping detect magic.
Okay.
Just to cover as much area as possible.
Sure. As you swim underwater, are you staying at like the 50-foot depth, kind of just treading the bottom? Cool.
I think I move up to about 25 feet, so I'm like halfway
Okay.
from the bottom and halfway from the
Sure.
top.
Are we sorry.
What's up?
Have we been seeing any wildlife whatsoever? Like
as soon
sea
as you,
life?
as soon as you like get away from the crater, yeah, you see like little fish swimming around and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Nothing big though.
Gotcha.
Clearly something has scared the big stuff away. You just see little tiny stuff that can hide easily, like little crabs
It's
and
only
stuff.
50 feet deep.
Also, well, yeah, some sharks swim in
Some
shallow
shark, yeah.
water. That's where most attacks happen. Anyways, you start swimming towards the island, and as you get close, you can see the stem of the island that connects to the bottom is very like large and jagged and just massive, much larger than the island itself up above. It's like a small
it-
outcropping that's kind of gone.
Does it look like it's the same kind of rock
Yeah,
as
yeah.
the base of
like
this?
a
Okay,
dark
so it
like a
is
dark
natural.
stone. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see the water's pretty clear, and also the red light in the sky is illuminating a lot. As you get closer, you can see painted on the side of the ships, these excavation ships or trawler ships is what they're technically referred to as. It says Port Crake Navy.
as we get closer to the ships, I'm gonna start getting up so that I'm only like about 10 feet from the surface
Okay.
and casting detect magic with it. It's
Okay.
a 30-foot radius.
Okay. Nothing.
Still nothing.
And the ships are just
gonna
still and sitting. They're anchored as well. You can see anchors have dropped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just gonna start going under each ship, trying to detect magic.
Nothing.
Do I sense anything from the shore as I'm also circling?
Yeah, probably.
Because they're fucking swords.
You detect the similar magic that you detected on their swords.
Okay. I don't detect anything unique though.
And
Anything different.
No, and you're 10 feet under. You can see one of them is just patrolling the shore with a couple others. The shore is like not like sand either. It's like jagged and rocky, and the only way to access the island itself is there's like a smaller dock where a smaller ship is docked that you didn't see before, but you see now as you're swimming under. Like a personal sailing ship you can see is docked at this dock, and this one says the Night Weaver painted on the side.
Does this one look more fey than the
No,
others?
another humanoid ship is a sailing ship. The Fae don't really use sailing ships. This is just a. At least they do in some domains, and their ships look really.
It's obvious.
This is easily a humanoid ship, and it's painted in the same kind of pattern as the naval ships are. And this one is just called. Yeah, this is clearly like a sole person's ship.
You said Night Reaver. Is that Knight or?
Night like the night.
You mean like day night?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Detect magic does ping something on that ship though. The personal
That one's
ship.
unique.
It's also anchored. And that
Is
ship's
it
that
tied
ship.
off to the dock?
Yeah, it's about. It's also like about 25 feet long. I guess clearly meant for like a crew of like 3 or 4.
Okay. All right, Torger and Vonkar. I did send something on this ship up here. I was thinking we detach it from the dock and break the anchor so it will float away, and perhaps we can cut it off from the rest of the reinforcements. Get it separated from the island before going aboard.
How are we gonna break an anchor chain, though?
For this,
You would know.
Grin holds up his sword.
You would know Grin's weapon is made to destroy objects.
Do it.
That'll do it.
But what about the ship drifting off? Like, are they gonna notice it? Perhaps.
I don't know. Depends on what they're looking at.
Oh, Hopper, since you're only 10 feet under, if you get closer to the island, you will be spotted because there is that red light that's like illuminating
Yeah.
everything. So just a little under the surface of the water is pretty illuminated.
I think once I sensed it, I went back down
Okay.
deeper.
Most of them are still looking up towards the rift in the sky, and
Okay. So it's probably just that patrolling
Mhm.
group that we have to
And-
worry about.
strangely, it seems like there's less of them on the island now. Like looking around, it doesn't look as densely populated by Umbral Knights at this moment.
Okay. Well, last I saw it, there were less of the knights on the island, and whoever else is still on the island is very enamored with the light at the top.
Is there a window on this boat?
Yeah, it has
Are there,
like the personal
ports?
captain's window at the back.
Is it open, closed?
I'm gonna roll me luck dice. Roll me a d100.
Love doing that.
I see.
There's no reason the answer should be either direction, so I guess
Correct.
we'll find out.
31.
31. No. Closed.
You decided after the fact.
Well, I had to
Are-
figure out.
Are there any portholes? Like for
no.
crew cabin at
No.
all? No.
Just the captain's window at the captain's quarters at the very back.
Antyr's hand's gonna reach out and grab Torger's shoulder.
Actually, you know what, Antyr?
Um,
You're a silly time wizard.
sure.
Roll that luck again for fun. I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it one more time.
Do it one more time. Let's see if it's any better. Hey, 54.
Quick glance, it didn't look open, and there's like a brief movement inside as someone opens it to get a breeze, and they turn and walk away.
Yeah, hand goes on Torger's shoulder. And then they're going to summon and Dialis. The cat's gonna be like clawed onto the underside of the, like where the window would kind of like jut, like
Yeah.
clawed onto the wood, and through Antyr's vision, it's gonna peek over the edge at the window seal to look inside.
Okay. Looking inside, it looks like a captain's quarters. You see painted on the wall and paintings hang on the wall of like naval scenes, just naval paintings. A large opulent bed is tucked into one corner that's been just made. In the center of the room is a large like circular table filled with documents and papers. There's also this little gnarled willow tree growing out of a pot, very similar to the tree coming out of the sky, but a smaller version of it growing out of a pot. And there's like a green sphere ensnared within the roots of that little tree. There's a big chest, like a big iron-bound chest, and you just see this tall Goliath, bald. You see the back of them, so you see the back profile. Bald, wearing like a long blue, gold-trimmed naval frock coat with gold epaulets, and they're wearing these elegant dark brown trousers and boots. And they open the door, step out, close the door behind them, and you hear the door lock.
Was relaying this.
Yeah.
Speaking, Antyr would have relayed this information. Who wants to go in?
I mean, I can fit in through the window.
Right, who wants to join Grin? Grin, your
Anybody else
size
fit in?
is... Well, I could do something. Your size gives you a bit of disadvantage on acquiring items within. Hopper, would you want to go in? Who's light on their feet?
I mean, I will say you guys have seen Grin swing this big sword around, so...
Yeah, but carrying a lot of
True.
things out seems very limited.
How many things are we looking to carry out?
Like, I wouldn't want to just go in and grab one thing from... If we're going to get the opportunity to grab multiple things from a
would
captain's
looking-
quarter.
Yeah, all we're looking to try and get is the sword. If
Yeah.
it's there.
Sword is top priority. Maybe that tree. Kind of interested in that.
Antyr, while you're looking through Andalis' eyes, perception or investigation check. Just to get a better...
Investigation.
Yeah.
When he was describing, what did the door
16.
handles look like?
Brass.
But are they like? Would you be able to stick something through them to lock it from opening in either direction?
Oh,
yeah.
you're saying like knobs
Yeah.
or
Knobs.
Yeah, like-
They're knobs.
They're knobs.
Oh,
Okay.
knobs.
Antyr, what'd
Gotta
you
do
get?
the chair trick.
16 investigation.
The Goliath had a stained glass sword on his waist.
Then.
Yep. Speaking of the sword, that Goliath had it, so that's who we want to go against, and it seems as though they are part of whoever these Nightweavers are, or whatever this Nightweaver ship possesses.
Do any of you guys have something that suppresses sound?
I mean, needs to breathe.
And
Valid.
just,
Shout out.
just so you all know, because the Funky's cursed, you all currently can't breathe oxygen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we can hold our
Oh
breath.
yeah, fuck, that's true.
You'd have to hold your breath while you're on land. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
Grin,
you
if you could hold your-
suggesting that we knock the captain overboard?
Goliath. He was
Make things
about.
easier.
He was tall, pretty tall, imposing, built, naval man, with the sword on his side.
Also,
I
eyes
do.
can make everything super quiet.
He
but
also
I can't be invisible and super quiet at the same
Antyr,
time.
he also is the only one who doesn't seem interested in what's coming through the sky.
Yep. Relay that information.
So perhaps, Torger, you make the area quiet. Vonkar, you go up there invisible and just grab him and bring him down to us, and then we attack him from below the water.
Oh boy.
Why don't we? I don't know.
We could also put the hole in the ship and start sinking it.
That also would be helpful, yeah. But would they run off with the valuable stuff while it's sinking?
That is the problem with that plan.
Antyr, while you're still looking through Endala's eyes, you can hear a conversation being had on the ship as well. Just outside the door.
Yes.
You hear two voices.
Focusing in.
So he knows that we spotted. He knows that we spotted their vehicle. And hear another voice. Yes, of course. Should be here momentarily. All right. We should get back to the port then. Absolutely. And then you hear a sound.
Okay, everyone. I think we need to get on the boat. We need to get into this boat
Wow.
quietly, stealthily, because someone is coming, and we know who that probably is because they spotted our vessel. So
Oh, okay. So destroy the anchor?
no, get into the boat to allow it to sail, or we follow the boat. It's going to port.
You did hear them say we have to get back to port, and then you heard a make me an Arcana check.
I think that's a spoopy doopy 10 fucking rolls.
It was a magical whooshing noise.
Yeah.
So what, have they already gone off the boat? What's going on?
Sure, yes. I don't know. I can't. Magical whoosh could mean multiple things. It could be vanishing. It could be one person, multiple.
Grin's gonna go and use one of their invisible charges and then just breach and then look to see if they're on the shoreline, on the docks or whatever, to see if they teleported.
You don't see any. You don't see any people walking around. Just the knights that are all staring up at the sky.
Okay, so they're not
I
back
didn't
at
sense,
the port, so to speak.
I didn't sense what I think is the sword disappear
Oh,
from. my
sorry.
level,
Detect
did
magic.
I?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, fuck. It is gone. It's not on the ship anymore.
Well, do you think they meant Port Creech? Do we just kind of abandon this whole thing and head back to Port Creech, if that's what the port they were referring to was?
Wait, you guys are saying that the big guy, he made a disappear sound?
There was two creatures. There's two people having a conversation, and after their conversation finished, talking about returning to the port, there was a whoosh sound, and now they're gone. So
Both are gone? Oh, okay.
yes.
So this ship
At least
is empty.
the sword is no longer on the ship.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can anybody? Is anybody a sailor? Does anybody know how to navigate a ship? Maybe we could just steal this ship.
I know how to fix one, I cannot sell it.
Okay, well then we're going to be swimming to the port.
Well, I mean, there's nothing else we can do, really. That I can think of. There's nothing I can do. Unless you want to pull out the flyer thing right next to this island and have everybody see it.
I will also say, Hopper, detect magic is still pinging something in the room, but the sword, you did feel the sword like moving and then disappear.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we could steal with the. There is still a magical item on the ship. We could attempt to steal whatever it was before departing.
Yeah,
Might
Hopper.
throw them into a little bit of chaos before.
Hopper,
and
I'm
distract
gonna have to leave this up to you, considering, you know, that sword is why we're here, and it was your vision. So, I mean, if you wanna check out the ship, then I'm for it. If you wanna skip it and just head right to where you detected the sword going, I'm with you there too. But I think ultimately it's your decision.
I think while we are here, it might be fruitful to steal whatever they have already. But I do not know which direction, whether the sword went onto the island or back to the port. It could have gone in any direction at this point.
I mean, they did say back to the port.
Y'all ever play the game Billiards?
No?
Does Billiards exist, Justin?
Probably.
Some version of it?
Yeah,
Some
probably.
form of it, yeah.
There's
Right.
Oyster Bowl. That's similar.
But there's a metaphor here.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
Vonkar's trying to be
Billiards.
specific to.
Billiards exist
Yeah, you ever play Billiards? You know the game I'm talking about?
then. No.
No. It's a game. You set up a bunch of balls on a table. You set them up in a triangle, and then you use a stick to hit one ball to hit other balls to knock them into these pockets. Now, you can't really start the game. You can't really start aiming to get balls in pockets, get what you want, until you do what's called the break, which is where you hit the first ball into all the nice, neatly arranged triangle and just knock everything all over the place. Sometimes, when a perfect plan does not present itself, you just gotta start knocking shit around and let stuff start to fall into a better position.
Alright, let's burn this whole ship to the ground.
He just starts fucking
Oh.
hitting the anchor
Okay,
chain.
make an attack
I don't
roll.
think it's a bad idea.
All
And
right.
Dallas is gonna fly in and is going to nab that tree thing.
Oh, and Dallas can't lift that up.
Oh, it's like heavy. Okay, I was imagining it was like a little bonsai tree.
Oh wait. Wasn't Dallas' strength?
Valid question. 3.
No, can't lift that up. But yeah, Grin, attack on the anchor or the chain.
Okay.
I'm going to assist with my force ballista cannon.
It is
My
at
hand.
disadvantage
Correct.
since I'm underwater.
But if it hits, it's an auto crit. So
12. Does a 12 hit?
yes.
Okay.
So auto crit that anchor chain.
Alright.
Smite it. Do all the things.
Smite the chain.
I should have done a booming blade, but we'll just go with this, whatever it is right now. So that's 13. Oh, I didn't do a crit. Let's roll another d10 and then add it to 13.
Yep.
13
Nice.
plus 9, 22,
22.
damage to the
The
chain.
chain just, you cleave through the chain like hot butter, and the anchor just, well, it rests at the bottom because it's already there. But
Yeah.
the anchor is busted, and this is a raging storm, so the ship starts to like pull out from the wind.
Antyr's gonna starlight step into the cabin.
Okay, you're in the cabin.
You holding your breath?
Yep, breath is held.
What's your Constitution modifier?
+3.
So you have 3 minutes.
This is gonna be bag is open. and
Ironbound
this is gonna
chest.
be-
There's an ironbound chest. It's a big ironbound
Okay.
chest. It's like 4 feet long, 3 feet tall. There's
Okay.
the documents all over the table. Then there's the bonsai tree with the green orb nestled in the branches.
Okay.
So for clarity, like, no spells can be cast when we're
Correct, because
above.
unless
when they're
if they have verbal components, then no.
Correct.
which
Okay.
I can cast because I have
Subtle spell.
meta magic. All right, is going to start snatching up the first document's going to get those all nice
Sure.
and tucked away, and then going to get the bonsai tree tucked into one of the bags.
Then you got the chest.
I don't know if I can lift the chest. I have an 8 strength.
No.
Shit.
And there's no way that chest is going through that window unless you break throw it through the window.
Is there a key in the room?
No.
Shit.
Do you have message?
I do.
Lionel did tell you he has proficiency in thieves' tools.
That's true.
But also,
I
I think
also
other
have
I think other
proficiency
people
in
do
thieves'
too.
tools.
So
Yeah, does
Lionel also doesn't need to breathe, so
That's very valid. So yeah, it's a subtle message. Kind of use it for this because it does require somatic or
Yep.
verbal. Subtle spell message looking toward where Lionel would be, and
this awful teddy bear just like in the water. Yeah.
I need you here. There's a chest. Make it fast.
Of course, my dear friend. Gonna do holy balls.
Oh no, Misty Step is.
He doesn't have
Second
Misty.
level
Doesn't
spell.
have Misty Step. Yes, he does. Misty Step into the room.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh right, he's not gonna do that. I forgot. Wild Magic Surge. Gonna clamber up the back. He's a little teddy bear. Just
Antyr will provide assistance.
you feel this wet, soggy hide teddy bear
Great.
Fine.
flop into the
Talk about
room.
this later.
All right, message. All right, companion. What do you need?
Pointing to the gills, pointing to the box.
Okay. He's gonna wander over, pull out his thieves' tools, which he has.
Antyr's gonna be watching like a hawk.
12. It's not working.
Okay. You know,
First and 10, do it again.
As this is
Let's
happening,
see.
you can hear like a tss, like coming from the chest as like the failed mechanism goes. There's like a tss.
what was that?
It's coming from the chest.
Antyr's gonna
check for traps.
Of course not.
Does that sound like it's gonna blow up?
No, of course not. I'll do it again.
Wait, before you do that,
I got a 19.
do it.
So
Do it.
the chest opens, and you can see that as it opened, it broke a wick that was lit, so the trap does not go off.
Oh my god! I was like, Antyr's like at the window.
There's money.
What?
There's money, and a ledger. He just takes it, takes the money, grabs the ledger, rushes for the window, and leaps out the window into the water.
Oh, okay. Starlight step.
And as you all leave the ship, and it begins to drift out into the reef, the
What
stormy
was the
reef.
magic thing that we went on the ship for?
You took everything in the room. I guess you'll
A
find out.
ledger and gold. Okay.
And the willow tree that Antyr took a bunch of
oh,
stuff too.
okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
As you all exit the ship,
That's definitely got to be magic.
and it begins to drift out into the reef, the stormy reef. That's where we're gonna end the session for the week. Good night, everybody.
Guys,
Didn't
got
plan
a
for any
hex
of this.
going
I had to
on.
throw this all out of the top of my fucking head, so
Hey, it was
Fine.
great.
No, it's great.
I'm very stressed. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Now you have time to prep it.